Hello? Can you guys hear me? Please ignore me if you can. Alright, I'm going to assume we're all good. Sorry about that. A little bit of a delay as I get things going on here. Let us crank up that epic major minor theme. I actually like the theme, so please, don't hate. It's pretty good. I think Clay's made a good decision in getting Foxamore on board to have his little jolly theme here. And you know what that means? It's time to begin. Hello there, fellow Dazzlers and newcomers alike. Razzle Joestar here bringing you more of Major Minor, Clay's Husky's masterpiece. As you may or may not have seen on the last stream, we went to meet Righty down in the cellars of Fidget and PB's bar. No, do not ask what PB stands for. He won't tell you. Where we came across one of what I heard will be numerous plot twists. That is, Keela was there. Some reason Keela was there and was pulled into Terra with us. Somehow. He seemed to arrive before, or no, after. I think it was he arrived after we did. So Righty was able to get to him before we arrived, in which the assassins got to us, and I decided to side with them. And now, me and Conrad and Edimon were on the way to the castle when we are accosted by none other than Lord Player's servant. I forgot his name. I keep forgetting his name. And I'm going to see the name and I'm going to shoot myself for forgetting what his name was. And then meanwhile on Earth, it's just proceedings. People detailing, talking about what they're going to do involving the death of Clace and how things are going to turn out for the tour. And we find ourselves in the convention center prior to a big meeting that Singe said that he's going to give involving the tour and some revelations. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get going. And as you can see, I've disabled the mouse cursor because I don't really think I need to point things out with the cursor. And it kind of became a bit of a distraction. So, let's not waste any time. Let's get going. Oh, we wanna... You didn't see anything there. You didn't see anything there. Don't go back and try to see what that was. Because, you know, I do upload these, and whatnot. So, let's go. So here we are. We are in the convention center, and we are deciding who are we gonna hang out with. Are we gonna hang out with Archeron, who for some reason I gave a dirty, hairy voice to, or are we gonna hang out with Rocker and Shock? I want to hang out with Shock and Rocker, though, because when you think about it, you know, I mean, Archeon seems like a pretty cool guy. He seems like a hero, but, you know, we're here to have fun on the tour. Let's kind of just, you know, have a little bit of a break, shall we, before things happen. I decided to go spend some time with Shock and Rocker. That was what I won the contest for, after all. The ability to spend time with celebrities, even though the situation was less than ideal. I would actually like to hear what they have to say. They're certainly close to Clace. Rocker seemed like he was holding up okay, but I'm wondering how Shock was taking this. I was also hoping they might play me some songs. A private show? But given the circumstances, I highly doubt it. As I walk towards them, I make eye contact with Archeron. I never know how to say his name. I pronounce it Archeron, but if anybody by any chance knows how to say it, don't hesitate to say Razzle. You say it like this, you dimweed. He nods at me before resuming his lookout. It isn't long before I make it to Shock and Rocker. However, I seem to intrude upon an argument. Oh, perhaps I could have picked a better time. You're talking nonsense, Rocker. Why don't you think before you speak? Let me turn that down a little bit, actually, for you guys. No offense, but it makes you look stupid. It makes perfect sense, man. You're just too daft to understand. You're calling me stupid? No more than you already done to me. Huh, you should know how smart I am. Clace's lead guitarist can't be dumb. It takes a certain level of intelligence. But I'm his lead guitarist, not you. They both take deep breaths and turn to greet me. So you're the fanboy, right? Shock, they're not a fanboy. They're our honored guest. Yeah, right. How much did you spend on Popstar? You must be quite the rabid fan. Look at all that blind devotion. Wow, sir! Another asshole. First we gotta put up with Rook and now this guy? Wow. There's just really, really nice, agreeable people all over the place in this game. It's true when you think about it, Rocker. We earned our spot beside Clace, right? We didn't buy a red carpet to walk in on. Clace was a person like anybody else. You can't buy his attention, Razzle. Well, you make a good point, Shock. I apologize on his behalf, however. He's prone to believing he's always right. This is what he really meant to say. He appreciates your devotion to Clace. Him and Shock were childhood friends. Childhood friends? I guess it goes deeper than I thought. Shock doesn't seem to be too affected by the murder. In fact, he just seemed like an all-around jerk, right? Oops, kind of hit the mic there, sorry. And I also apologize for my own actions. He walked in on an argument between us. It's rare that I get that heated up. It's true. Rocker isn't one for arguing. Hearing him raise his voice is rare. In fact, I forgot what our fight was about. We were talking about living on after death. Specifically, how I think it's impossible. Oh, how it's possible, my bad. You mean like zombies? No, Shock. Not like zombies. Let me explain it this way. Maybe we can convince Razzle. Great. I love hearing things twice. As we saw last episode, he loves Japanese culture and loves to tell people about it. Well, if you let me begin, there's no need to be a jerk about it. Alright, go on then. Well, I know Clace is gone and all, but it's possible for him to live on, especially in his possessions and art. Shock seems to think that death is final. A little hypocritical, if you ask me. He's been chugging pop stars all day. Sales of those are likely to go to inflate. Not for the reason we want, of course. Stars are given a lot of posthumous coverage. Ain't that the truth? It's childish to think Clace is gone. He'll live on in so many ways. I disagree entirely. Clace is gone for sure. All that stuff is superficial. And what about his albums? People will be buying them in droves. Previously recorded albums, you mean? Clace will never sing live again. All that's left is memories of the past. But you can live on in a memory. That's what I'm trying to say. No, you can't. That's stupid, Rocker. A memory will never replace his voice. It's a mockery of what we've lost. If you really think memories suffice, then you aren't close to him at all. Nothing can replace the real thing. That's not what I meant at all. I didn't say we would have to replace him. Just keep his memory intact, you know? No, I don't really know. All I know is Clace is dead. He's not coming back, and that's final. You can sugarcoat it any way you want. But that's what they call denial. He's outlived by commercial trash. I didn't mean to strike a nerve, but musicians like that tend to live on, sometimes even after centuries pass. I don't see Clace being any different. He has his fans to carry on his legacy. Come on, Razzle. You got my back here, right? No one is gone if we can remember them. At least, that's what I like to believe. Also, let me actually... pardon the noise here. I brought my mic up. I just noticed that stupid me left it lying down. Professional streamer hard at work. How can you side with that? Dead is dead. That's a fact. Legacy is not an apt replacement. It'll just make the company more money. They'll milk his death for more profit. And as cynical as it is, that's true. I mean, you know, somebody dies, David Bowie dies, and everybody starts buying his albums. I mean, I don't think David Bowie had his death milked, but you know, I'm pretty sure that tends to happen. People ride on, you know, that death or that tragedy or whatever. That's what happens when anyone dies. You're with me on this one, right? So, I mean, I like Rocker's optimistic viewpoint, but I do agree. I think Shock is kind of more... I think he's more on the right on this one. Shock is glad you're on his side. I feel a little odd being put on the spot like this, but I have to side with Shock. It best projects my personal views on the matter. I don't want to be anything but... Wow. I don't want to anything but honest with these. Come on, Clace. The death of a celebrity is often commercialized. It wouldn't be a projection of the real Clace. Shock seemed like he was really close to the pop star. I can therefore understand why he's not okay with this. Wait. I didn't expect that. I'm always alone in my opinions. I expect you to side with Rocker. You're not as alone as you think, Shock. Perhaps you should apologize now. You were rude to Razzle earlier. I guess. Sorry I judged you like that. I hope I didn't offend you. I accept this apology with indifference. It didn't really offend me. Now you can't see you're always alone. You've got an ally here, Shock. Something like that. No need to mock me, you know. Either way, we shouldn't waste time arguing. For once, I'm choosing to end the fight. Don't act all surprised, though. I am a little surprised, actually. You usually fight until you're winded. I don't think Clace will approve of this. He wouldn't want to see us fighting at all. I mean, we're on the topic of honoring him. Should think about what he'd want. He hated when we fought after all. Fair enough, actually. If he were here, he'd stop us both. Just like he usually did. Maybe that's why it went on so long. He wasn't here to get in the way. I guess he did keep us in line, especially during our most popular fight, like who's Clate's lead guitarist was. I know, right? It's pretty clear that it's me. Here we go again. Hey, that's not true. I laugh softly and turn away. It isn't long until I act like as if I'm not there. It seems to be cyclical with the two of them. Arguing, making up, and then arguing again. It was almost like a sibling dynamic. It wasn't about to take their sides in their current fight. They were both extremely talented guitarists. It was like arguing was a way of showing affection. If they hated each other, they wouldn't hang out. They clearly found some sort of enjoyment in this. Perhaps I'll get to learn more about them after. At least, I'll have to split them up first. I don't think I could get anything out of them both. They get caught up in some sort of fight first. Would you like to save? Yep, let's go ahead and save the ammo. Also, I have no picture. Why can't I have character picture? I walk back to the center of the room and look around. It appears that everyone's anxious and restless. It must have been a long night for them all. But the answers are so close, so we all hold out together. I scan the room a few times over. An eerie silence fills the area. I feel like perhaps I should break it. But before I can do anything, the large door is open. Someone walks out and exchanges glances with everyone. This must be Singe in the conference room entrance. I thank you all for coming here today. Even though we've all had no sleep, I'm honored that you chose to be here. He bows to us much like Rocker. In a few minutes, the press will come. The doors will be unlocked for everyone. I'd be honored if you came in first. I'd like for all of us to be on stage. I want to appear united in this crisis. As a team, with nothing between us. We've endured a tragedy. We need to show the world our strength. We are a family even in grief. Our public image is important now. We must remain as resolute as possible. We can't have anything falter today. Please come and take your seats with me. We will begin as soon as the room fills up. He bows again and goes back into the conference hall. Not a moment later, we all start to follow him. Unsure of what the conference has in store, and unsure of what shocking truths await us in the world. Or await the world. Whoops. My bad. The morning after the tavern incident. I'm sorry. This is a lot to take in. Would you mind starting from the beginning? It's Lord Flair. I haven't had my morning coffee just yet. Oh my god, I feel you. I had to get up early for work this morning, and I'm just wrecked right now. I got my coffee now, though. My mind is cloudy, to say the least. Riley! See, I always forget his name. Why do I forget? You know. You're not the only one who's taken aback. These events shocked me as well, my lord. I apologize for keeping my agenda hidden. You would have never endorsed my actions, even if they were for the greater good, so I had to take things into my own hands. Of course, and now I still don't believe it. Endymon and Conrad were my trusted allies. I laugh at the notion of their betrayal. I'd never dedicate resources to that. Yet here we are in the present. You have evidence backing your claim. Of course, I always validate my word. Last night I ventured to the tavern. Endymon and Conrad were there as well. But they had someone with them, an immigrant from another world, one they will not be giving to you. In fact, they're bringing him to Velasquez. This directly violates your truce. Were they not to bring everyone to you? You're keeping tabs on this immigration. Yes, that was the plan, Riley. All of it should go through me. Easier to keep track of that way. Is there a chance you misheard things? Perhaps they used Velasquez as a cover, just in case anybody overheard. Impossible. They filed the paperwork. This immigrant is now fully sanctioned. They violated the truce, my lord. Indeed. That is irrefutable proof. It's impossible for me to work with that. This immigrant is now in the records. But I wonder, what does Velasquez want? Of all people, he wants an immigrant? They must be quite an important person. Of that I'm unsure, but I feel like it's irrelevant. No explanation can excuse betrayal. And you know Velasquez's stance on that. He's too friendly to these off-worlders. I'm glad I was able to open your eyes. You're right, and I appreciate that. But now my curiosity is affecting me. Just who could this immigrant be? My two main allies would betray me, and the king wants to see them personally. There might be more here than meets the eye. Again, I'm not sure. But you could ask him yourself. I did what you would have wanted, my lord. I took action after seeing this betrayal. It was either that or let them win. I paid this off-worlder a visit. One thing led to another, however. They ended up passing out. It was unfortunate, of course, but an opportunity presented itself. I took them. They're in our prison, along with the other immigrants. What? Riley, how could you be so foolish? I can't believe what you're telling me. Do you realize what you've done? You've abducted a legal immigrant? One that was wanted by the king? Velasquez will have us under scrutiny. You keep coming to me with these revelations. First it was that Kaylin worked for Riley, but then you go and you do this to us. We'll have the assassins target us, under the pressure of a royal mission, too. And everything was going good for once. I can't believe you would do this. Discretion was our greatest ally, Riley. These two guilds will be upon us soon. Please, Lord Player, I can explain. There must have been a lapse in your judgment. Trust me, this is far worse than a lapse. If I didn't trust you, I'd almost think... Blair stops in the middle of his sentence. At that point, he comes to a shocking realization. You wanted me to get caught. Oh, snap. And back to Earth. We all file into the conference room one by one. Everyone brings their sense of anxiety with them. It isn't long until we reach the stage area. It's lined with enough seats to fit us all. We stare onwards at the empty room before us. Soon it would be filled with those who seek answers. Fans, press, and everybody in between. But there is a common goal among them, enlightenment. I sit on the far right side with Keela to my left. Then there's Archeron, Singe, Shock, and Rocker. A woman with long yellow hair is there as well. Inume sits beside her with Rook to his left. That's another name. I always forget how to spell Inume. Inume? However you say it. It seems like everybody is here, save for Jade. But when the doors open, people spill in. Sure enough, she's among the press and citizens. It seems like Archeron and Singe are getting along. They're lost in conversation amongst themselves. I would have started the conference long ago, but Singe is probably waiting for latecomers. After a while, he picks up his microphone. It appears that every seat on stage has her own. Would I be expected to talk during this? The moment Singe speaks, the crowd becomes silent. I'd like to... He cuts himself off. There's extreme feedback coming from the mic. Extreme feedback. Some in the audience cover their ears. I mean, I can't simulate feedback, so I just... whatever. I'd like to thank all of you for coming. I know it's early, but this has to be done. A longer wait means more restlessness. And that means filling in the blanks. We've called you here to be fully open. Something has hurt us profoundly. We'll carry it with us forever. It'll scar us for years to come. So please, be respectful. There will be no flash photography today. or recordings of any video for that matter. However, audio recording is an exception. I understand some of you need notes, especially with the members of the press, but this is as far as we can go. With that said, I will now begin. I relay this news with a heavy heart. Last night, our own idol passed away. At midnight, Clace was murdered. The audience starts talking amongst themselves. I see several people scribbling down on notepads. The cause of death was asphyxiation, but it was under mysterious circumstances. It implies suicide, but that can't be true. Clace was not the type to do this, especially so close to the tour's launch. It's an impossibility. Please disregard it. With that said, I will take questions. But please remain considerate today. Remember, we are in a state of grief. Send, sir. I have a question if you're willing. By all means, Fukumoto. Feel free to ask whatever you like. You mentioned the method of death, asphyxiation under mysterious circumstances. Exactly how is that asphyxiation mysterious? A lack of oxygen is not mysterious. I'm afraid I'm a little confused. The press and the audience start nodding in agreement, as if this was a question on all of their minds. You're correct, and I'm glad you asked, and I hope you asked the same to the police. They hastily branded these as suicides. Clace had markings around his neck. They implied the use of a noose. But there was no noose at the scene. Well then, that is definitely odd. Thank you for answering my question. Fukumoto returns to his seat. I'm surprised he didn't twist any of Singe's words. This is why the official ruling is odd. The lack of evidence is very suspicious, and it implies several possibilities. The body may have been moved post-mortem, or the culprit made off with the evidence. Both point to the same shocking truth. These were murders, plain and simple. The affected families deserve the truth. Why were our loved ones taken from us, and who committed these egregious crimes? I stand here today speaking for the many, those who lost their husbands, their wives, even their children and siblings. The police must reinvestigate this case. They cannot give up so easily, and they will have my full cooperation. There's one thing I want to accomplish. This case will be closed before we leave. We will return to America enlightened. And to that end, I will move on to the subject of our world tour and precisely what will happen next. I am proud to announce we will continue. The world tour will go on as was planned. The audience bursts into conversation again. It seems we weren't expecting this announcement. We will do what Clace would have wanted. Instead of backing down, we persevere. Daz will head the tour in his place. She has graciously agreed to this burden. I cannot thank her enough. Surely, it's a monumental undertaking. He motions to the woman with yellow hair. Oh, interesting. So that's who she was. The launch will turn into a memorial, not just for Clace, but for everyone. Every person affected by these deaths. A series of his hits will be performed, but Daz will sing some new songs as well. Shock and Rocker will stay to help out. We will, as a family, honor the lost, as well as launch Daz's new career. Trust me, she is very talented. That was definitely a lot to take in. I guess they have a steady supply of idols. She must be talented to follow Clace's shadow. I will open for questions one more time. This will be my last question, Singe, but I'm asking as a friend. Are you worried for the safety of Daz, and of the Lucky too? What if this culprit strikes again? What precautions have you taken? Actually, I'm not worried about this at all. There is no evidence of us being targeted, but there is a little more to explain. In fact, I have one last announcement, and I have full clearance to reveal this. Please do not assume I am leaking any info. But have a seat while I continue. Very well. Now, this information is known only to me. I haven't revealed it to anybody, not even those involved in the tour. What could it be? I notice Archeon shifts uncomfortably in his seat. It looks like he's annoyed at hearing this. I will be keeping everybody in here. I won't allow them to leave this building, but this is for a very specific reason. And it involves Armstrong Incorporated. Wait, he's keeping us in here? And what does this have to do with Armstrong? Archeon's ears perk up, and he looks visibly angry. I know Maxine Armstrong piqued curiosity. Her arrival in Tokyo was quite mysterious, but today we will reveal the truth. She gave me an offer when she arrived, and I wanted protection for everybody here, both by hired guards and technology. This is the sole reason she's in Tokyo. She offered us the best of her services. We are safe now, by so many means. It was all our doing. Unfortunately, we couldn't protect Clace. I feel somewhat responsible for his death. I caved in under some pressure. I initially had him on a tight leash. I didn't want him getting into any trouble. But people said I was being too harsh. I decided to give him some freedom, and then look what it caused. I should have stuck to my gut feeling. I remember hearing something about that yesterday. That Clace was being kept on a really tight leash. They said it was because the public was scared of him. Because his death started as soon as he arrived. I can see now this was not the real reason. Singe was just trying to keep him safe from harm. I'm ashamed for not realizing that sooner. The explanations I heard earlier must have been lies. I don't think the public was scared of Clace at all. It seems that it was Singe who was scared all along. I apologize for getting off track there, but it was my answer to your question. That is why I'm not worrying anymore. This time, I will keep the leash tight. Nobody will be allowed to leave on my watch. We'll be under constant surveillance. Further harm will be impossible. Everybody will now be protected. This time I'll stick to my instinct. I will trust in the guard I have hired, and I will trust in Armstrong Incorporated. Archeon jumps out of his chair at hearing this. I can hear loud growls coming from his mouth. He's fuming, unable to contain his anger. He must have been holding this in for a while. Singe, are you insane? What? Singe is definitely surprised at this interjection. The audience is as well, and they watch in fright. Explain yourself at once, Archeon. Think about what you're saying. You want to keep everybody inside? After you've lined the place with weapons? You've turned us all into sitting ducks. Armstrong's weapons can be hacked. They're not as foolproof as you think. Real manpower can never be replicated. A man's got to know his limitations. You can't be serious about this, Singe. Everybody important to Clace is in here, and now they're surrounded by weapons? How could you be so foolish? Archeon pushes Singe back against the wall. He holds him in place by his white coat, but Singe remains calm and collected. The audience gasps and watches in awe. Of course. I read your psych evaluation. A seething hatred for Maxine Armstrong. I should have expected this outburst. Archeon, I advise that you back down. You're only compromising your position. If I fire you, then she wins, right? Compromise, you say? You're the one compromising everything. You just told the world how to kill us all. Hack some weapons, set them off? We all need to evacuate immediately. Think logically, Archeon. These weapons are extremely high-tech. They can't be hacked as easily as you think. They need authorization codes to set off. Only myself and Maxine know these codes. We both desire protection, Archeon. I will only use them if we are in danger. You believe I don't think this through. But I'm not as stupid as you think. I know exactly what I'm doing here. These weapons are a last resort, in case your expertise fell through. And it looks like it might be starting to. Oh, burn. I suggest that you let go of me. Return to your seat immediately, Archeon. You're only making a fool of yourself. You don't understand it like I do, Singe. Weapons cannot keep people safe. People are supposed to keep each other safe. You seem to be very worried. You're scared of an infinitely small thing. A thing with almost impossible chances. Why do you hate Armstrong so much? What did they take away from you? Archeon releases his grip, but not calmly. He lets out a sharp growl in Singe's direction, and returns to his seat with a look of shame. Singe dusts off his lab coat with his hands, as if the altercation made him dirty. I am terribly sorry for that, folks. As you can see, we're all under duress. Part of why we said no photography. We're not ready for the spotlight just yet. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Refrain from reporting that incident. The audience nods in compliance. But please, report everything else, including the involvement of Armstrong. We thought it was the right time to know. She is here to protect, not to harm. This building is armed and ready, but not all the weapons are lethal. We have non-lethal means as well. So this place is far from a death trap. I will not use the lethal weapons, that is, unless my hand is forced. We are protected in many, many ways, and both myself and Maxine share goals. We want everybody to stay alive. Thank you all for coming. Please, leave of your own accord. Singe bows to the audience and returns to his seat. They start to file out of the room. This was a lot to take in. I don't really know how I should feel. I mean, am I a prisoner of here now? Am I not allowed to leave? That's not really cool at all. And we're surrounded by weapons? That does make me feel a little uneasy. Was Singe certain they couldn't be hacked or set off? Acheron has been extremely smart and knowledgeable. Was his outburst as incorrect as Singe let on? Or were there potentially... Or were we potentially all in a dangerous situation? I take a deep breath and try to relax. By the time I'm calm, the room is empty, save for those who were involved at the tour. After a few moments pass, Singe turns to me. This is the first time he's addressed me directly. Well, he tries to eject Kayla as well, but it seems like he's lost in thought again. Well, that was a rather eventful conference. Never a shortage of quality entertainment. He smiles at us, seeming a lot more calm. Or perhaps it's like he's less professional. I guess he can relax a little after a speech like that. Being professional all the time would get tiring fast. I'm sorry about meeting like this. The circumstances are less than ideal. I was really looking forward to this. So, you're the leader then? The one in charge of all this? I guess you could say that. But delegation is my expertise. That's why I have people like Rook and Jade. I can never do this all by myself. I'd cave under the pressure pretty quickly. Managerial duties are less than forgiving. I have to ask, why lock us up? Do you really think that's a good idea? At first I thought it was, but now I feel like it won't be easy, at least not while Eclair is still here. Are you going to get rid of him then? No, of course not. He's acclaimed the entire world over. There's no better candidate for this. Whether we agree with each other, though, doesn't matter. He'll get the job done. He'd never risk his flawless resume. But I'd love to talk more personally. Would you two stop by my office? It's better with less prying ears. We have much to discuss together, and I'm sure you have many questions. I definitely do, like... Not here, Keela, but I'll happily answer them in my office. For your reference, it's room 2A. Keela nods, and I do as well. It's definitely cool to be talking to the ringleader. I feel like he'd be able to answer all of our questions. There's more going on behind the scenes for sure. But I wonder, would he be sending us home? Or would we just tour with Daz instead? He gives us another smile before walking away. Well, I guess I know where we're going. But I still have some stuff to think about. Meet me in front of 2A when you're ready. Keela walks away and exits the room. Everyone else must have left while we were talking, because now the room is completely empty. I wonder what's bothering him so much. He's taken an interesting turn the last little bit. I think he said something about his past. He seemed uncool with getting involved in the media. Perhaps that's what he wanted to talk to Singe about. I step down from the stage and see someone there. I could have sworn the room was empty just a moment ago. But it's a familiar face, so I go on to greet them. Well, well, well. Look who it is. What's she doing here? Oh, I hope he didn't see me. Hi, Razzle. Her shoulders are slouched down, her posture poor. She seems to be an odd combination of scared and sad. But I knew who she was talking about. It was Rook. I asked her what she's doing here. Well, I heard about what happened last night. I rushed over from work as soon as I could. That explains why she's still holding her stuff. And this is where Clay tries to be sly with the unchanging character portraits. But I didn't come to hear about Clace. I actually came for work, you know. I wanted to see how he was holding up. Wow, that sounds kind of rude, doesn't it? I mean, I definitely care about Clace, but I needed to see Rook. Does that make me a bad person? I mean, everybody came here for Clays, but here I am, only caring about Rook. It kind of does, yeah. Eclair looks crushed. Too bad. I think it does make her a bad person. Way too many people were affected by this, so it's rather self-centered to only care about one. At least, that's my opinion on the matter. When I say this, it looks like I broke her heart. Oh, I see. Well, I guess we can't all be perfect. If it makes me bad, then I'll accept it. Sorry if I put you on the spot. I guess I just needed some sort of feedback. Rook handles this stuff quite differently. I mean, I did tell you a little bit, so I'm hoping you understand my situation. I didn't want him reacting the same way. Singe's organization needs Rook, just like Cafe Chat needs Rook. When he's gone, things get chaotic. I just wanted to see his face. The expression can say a lot, you know. I wasn't expecting him to notice me. I just wanted to take a look, that's all. For some reason, I thought it would help, but I was wrong. It didn't. It made things more confusing. His face looked the same as always. I call it something like cold steel, something that says stay away from me. In fact, it looked like he was unfazed, but that couldn't be right, could it? I'm worried about what he might do. She did care about Rook a whole lot, I'll admit, but I start to wonder if maybe it was too much. From my understanding, they've been out of contact, so why was she always talking about him? He barely talks about her, which makes it weird. Was she a little obsessed? Sorry for rambling on, Razzle. I didn't want him to ditch Singe. Everybody needs to stick together here. You don't need to lose another person. Things are hard enough as is, and as I said, work is important. Either way, I'm glad I ran into you. It was nice to talk about things again, but yeah, I still owe you something. But this time, you have my word. I won't stop until you're satisfied. Oh, one more thing before I go. I want to ask you something about this. Do you think people can make up, rebuild broken bridges? Or do you think it's a lost cause? You seem like a smart person, Razzle. Am I being reasonable or emotional? I think sometimes you can rebuild broken bridges, but I can tell she wants more than just to be friends again, so I'm gonna say you need to move on, woman. Eclair's hope is shut down. I think she needs a cold, hard dose of reality. People move on, they stop being friends. Life has a way of making people disconnect. She's clinging to the past. That's bad. I tell her that perhaps she should look to the future. Life is what you make of it, not what was made. She's idolizing the past, and she needs the truth. Times change, people change, and we all drift apart. I think I articulate my argument well. Oh, so it was wishful thinking. Some part of me hoped it was possible, but I guess that was just a pipe dream. I'd say coming here was a mistake, but then again, I did get to see you. You helped me make sense of everything. And if I'm to focus on the future, I'll make Cafe Chat the best it can be. Just you wait for what I have in store. It's going to blow you away. You'll see. She seems really happy for being shut down like that. Is she putting on some sort of act for me? Well, I guess they're ready going. I'm sure you have important stuff to do. Contests to win, stuff like that. I'll see you around, Mr. Lucky. She slowly walks away, but there's something in the way she moves. It's like she's happy, more so than yesterday. I should tell Keela that we might go back to Cafe Chat. He'd probably enjoy hearing that. Let's save the game! Hey. I guess a lot's happened over the last couple hours. Life in this business moves pretty darn fast. I hope I can keep up with all this. Next step, Singe's office. He wanted to have a conversation with me and Keela, but I wonder what it was about. I hoped that he'd let us stay and tour with Daz. Whoops. I'd rather not all my work be for nothing, and I'd get to spend lots of time with everybody, especially if we weren't able to leave the building. I doubt it would be as bad as Archeon's thought. Only Singe and Max could set off the weapons. At that moment, they were on the same side. They were both in us to protect all of us. I felt at ease. But it was very short-lived. The tone on my phone echoes through the empty hall. I hesitantly check my text messages. I'm completely unaware of what awaits me. But after reading what I was about to, I knew that things would never be normal again. One of your friends will die today. It will be your fault. You are not the only one blessed with the powers from the Ark. Things will be more fun from now. Good luck. Oh, snap. So, there are other people. Well, I mean... what's his name? Not important mentioned that, there's been others before, so... Before your arrival in Tokyo, and before the launch of the contest. So, if I may reiterate, I've recently engaged in a bargain. And my claim is this. is dominion. Not only over Earth, but its people too. And the flow of time therein. I'm certain you would like this power. In your line of work, it would be essential. Am I correct to assume that you agree? Yeah, but... well, look who it is. Wow, I mean, you know, having that mysterious message sent and then her pop up. Could it possibly be that those two things are related? It's such a fragile-looking necklace. Fragile? The gears of fate are anything but. They spin in spite of defiance. Like a drill moving forward in revolution. Time is not easily stopped. It is fickle and moves with vigor. So wait, I can control time? In a way. What has happened cannot be changed, but you can stop it and slow down. Like a river, it can flow or be still. The gear gives you the power to do this. So let's say that I believe you, which I am inclined to. I mean, just look where I'm standing. I imagine all the people I could save. Those that are struggling are in danger. But I sense you want something in return. You wouldn't just hand out this power. I'm glad you're as smart as they say. The truth is, I grow tired of this place. The Ark is fun for a time, but my ambitions have grown larger. I seek a worthy successor, someone to rule in my stead. However, there's more than just time. The power of the Ark runs deeper. So this gear is just a taste, hmm? Indeed. The Ark governs life and death as well. This renders the dweller immortal. Governs life and death? You mean you can bring back the dead? Yes. Or I can cause the living to die. Something I fear I'll be doing more of. But you said you couldn't reverse time. It's true, I can't. But time and life are separate entities. I'm not sure how to explain the difference. It's a concept hard to put into words, but it's easily understood in practice. If you become my successor, you'll see. You mean there's a chance I might not be? I didn't realize this was a gamble. I thought you were making me an offer. Of course this is a gamble, Max. You're not the only one who will be chosen. There will be a few contestants, along with a goal and an objective. I can't just give the Ark away, not without finding a worthy owner. It is your goal to prove that worth, and there will be others in your way. Very well then. What are your terms? Rio lets out a sinister smirk. My terms are simple. Pay very close attention. Chapter 5. The Brief Reprieve. Would you like to save? Yeah. I have a feeling we're in for more rambling. Present day. How are you holding up? Thirsty or hungry? Neither. Just feeling lonely. With me right beside you? I'm not sure if I should be offended. I thought I was pretty good company. No, I didn't mean it like that. Of course you're good company, Kayleen. It's just, I'm missing lots of people. That and it's wet and dark. Wet is good. Humidity helps. You don't want to be dry out in the cell. Trust me, it's an awful experience. I know you say you're not hungry, but I've been monitoring your eating. You'll starve if you don't have some more. Just ration this bread, Kabu. Not a chance. That's yours. Not really. I can survive on little food. Your body isn't used to that, though. I can tell the situation is foreign to you. It seems to be the opposite for you. Spent a lot of time in prison, Kayleen. More than I'd like to admit, but being in prison isn't all that bad. Excuse me? I always seem to find a way out. This time will be no different. We're all alive, so that means one thing. They want us alive. If they didn't, we'd be dead now. Only you could find that reassuring. I'm afraid I don't share the same sentiment. Player would never keep someone alive, not unless they were important to him. So for now, we get free food and shelter. With a sight of torture, you mean? Your optimism is an inspiration. It's just who I am. Think of it like this. Every time they take me out for torture, I can mentally map more of the estate. I'll have it all down in no time. Then we can plan our escape. I'm used to torture. I'm trained to resist it. I'll make sure they always take me. Besides, I have some letters to send out, and what better time to do it? I hope my friends are getting them. I know this place inside and out. I can definitely help you, but I just can't let you suffer in my stead. Of course you can. That's what buddies are for. Buddies? Yeah. I want to help you out, Kabu. That's why I gave you my bread. That's why I'll make sure they don't hurt you. I don't think I can repay you for this. Well, you could tell me about yourself. If we're buddies, I should get to know you. I suppose that's a fair exchange. Will you tell me about yourself too? Sorry, I don't really do that. The bread and care will have to suffice. Oh. But please, do tell me. I don't ask unless you genuinely care. Colleen lets out a small smile. Well, it's just like I said at the rally. I don't remember much, but I'm at Tehran. The first thing I remember is Lord Player. I'm sorry to hear that. That must not be a pleasant first memory. Heh, in this case you're wrong. I look back at that memory very fondly. Were it not for Player, I'd be dead. Back then he was different. He treated me as if I was a Terrarian native, like I was his own flesh and blood. But everything changed, and so fast, politics turned him into a different man. It was much easier to coerce and influence. He only cared about his following. He lost sight of his true self. But I suppose it's collateral damage. Not many people stick to their values, especially when others don't share them. He started telling people what they wanted. No longer did he talk about what he wanted. It was all about pleasing the population. It could be addicting having power, having people cheer your presence. I can see how that changed them. I guess he gave in. That's when I started to feel neglected. He would rarely speak to me. That must be hard, having a father figure treat you that way. Is that why you decided to speak up? No, that's a different matter entirely. A lot changed when Riley came on board. He was supposed to be Player's advisor. But it was more like he owned Player. Suddenly Riley was the one in charge. And he made him do horrible things. What do you mean? This isn't the only cell down here. There are others filled with people. He's keeping undocumented immigrants. Riley convinced him to do this. The immigration stance was his idea. Player loved immigrants. He loved me. They're about to get a steady supply. Something about 2 men with connections. They came with some sort of arrangement. But they've kept everyone alive. It's not like they want to kill them. It's more like they want to ostracize them. He thinks it'll make Terra better. But that hurts me. It really does. I want to be a part of this new Terra. I heard him talking with Riley. If elected, they'll make more prisons, immigration camps, or something like that. A place to keep him while he works. He wants to sever Terra's connection, remove us from the galactic community. But that's far too dangerous, Kayleen. We know what happens when Velasquez tried. This is not to be trifled with. I find this all hard to believe. So we're not really alone down here? Not at all. But getting back on topic, all of this is Riley's doing. He makes Player do these awful things. But it's still Player himself that does them. His hands have gotten so dirty, Kayleen, while Riley's remain as clean as ever. Wait, you don't mean... Yes, he's setting Player up. He wants to remove Player from the picture, then he'll be free to usurp the campaign. Okay, now I'm a little confused. You say it's Riley behind all of this. Then why did you frame Player at the rally? Riley must believe that he's winning. That way, he can let down his guard. I got help from an assassin, Andy Mayon. Together we created the fake manifest. That's what I submitted at the rally. And that's what started all of this. You must have thought I was stupid, turning against Lord Player so easily, especially with evidence forged in haste. It did seem a little odd, but now I understand why. So what's the next step? Hopefully Player can realize the truth. After this, he'll want to escape blame. Maybe he'll piece the pieces together. Hopefully in doing this, he'll realize. That's when both of us come in, assuming he learns of your guild heritage. He'll realize he can't escape the storm. At that point, he'll seek protection. And that's exactly what you can offer. He should come down here to talk, and that's when we can barter. Use your services to gain freedom. You thought this all through? I did. Sorry if it's complicated. But if we protect Player, we can use him. His testimony will help expose Riley. Of course, they'll lose all validity. No one will vote for these 2 men. It'll secure the election for Velasquez. I misjudged you. I'm impressed. Most do, and that makes it easier. I can avoid suspicion and detection. Wow, you think like a mercenary. You'd be a great addition, Kaboo. Maybe the guild life would suit you. At least, that's the way I think. Always be steps ahead of the enemy. Then you'll be able to counter them. That's one of the first things I learned. I guess I wasn't lucky enough to learn it. All this came to me by instinct. Sounds lucky to me. So what do we do? Just wait? Yeah, it's all we can do, really. Wait for a player to come to his senses, or perhaps wait for him to get caught. Plottings and plannings abound, it seems. Oh, look who it is.
Wow! We screw everything up, don't we? Can't even take a nap without ruining stuff. How do you think the king will take this? You know, that his savior is missing. He's going to be furious, Indy.
Quiet! It's not the time or place for jokes. We have to figure out what happened. The savior must be somewhere nearby. There's too much on the line to leave this. We have to figure it out. And fast.
Sorry. But maybe he just left of his own will? I mean, we never had him in shackles. They always had the freedom to walk.
But we explained things so well. I was certain we had their allegiance. They can't just have walked away. Look around for clues. There's more here, I know it. I take a drink. Real quick. Oh my.
Oh, we're detectives now? Did I sleep through that meeting?
Conrad, enough. Sorry for yelling. Would you please just help me look around? Look for elements of foul play. Then we can decide our next actions. I can't read today.
Yeah, I'm on it. And I'll try to keep low on the jokes. I didn't realize this was a hot topic. Just a hard habit to kick, especially when it's second nature, you know.
Okay, it's really getting hard for me to do that consistently. I understand.
Thanks. You start looking over there. I'll get this half of the room.
I appreciate it. They can't have gone far either, so the faster we find a lead, the better. I spent a few minutes scouting the room, and after a moment's pass, Edemine makes a discovery. Conrad.
Yeah?
Come here. I found something.
What is it?
It's blood.
Wait, the Savior's blood?
I don't know. But this tattered piece of clothing? I'd recognize it anywhere, Conrad. Lord Player was here.
That's impossible! We're still on good terms with him.
Edemon holds up the piece of fabric. The blood has long since dried. Well, who else would wear this? There's no other explanation. I've seen him wear this multiple times.
That's purely conjecture. We should look around a little more. He knew all about Lord Clare. There's no way he'd leave willingly, yet there are no signs of a struggle. Fabric was torn and blood drawn. That doesn't happen without a fight. There'd have to be something left behind. But everything is in pristine condition. Perhaps we're falling into a trap.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come up with a different voice for him.
Being tricked into thinking this way. This could be what the assassin wants. We were just next door, Andy Mayon. We would have heard it if anything happened. Think about this logically, no assuming.
I'm not assuming anything, Conrad. You cornball. The evidence is right before me. There's no mistaking what I'm seeing. Lord Clare must have abducted the Savior. We must make haste to his residence. Our guys have been broken. We can attack head-on. We can apply directly to the forehead.
We would have heard an abduction, Andy Mayon. Think about it. I'm begging you.
They could have spiked our wine, Conrad. I knew I slept longer than usual.
Now you're being paranoid.
Conrad, just stop it. We had someone capable of saving Terra, and now they're missing with evidence? This is a purely logical conclusion.
I suppose at first glance.
Exactly, and there's a chance I'm right. We have to act on that no matter how small. If we don't, the Savior could be killed. There's too much in a balanced debate. We need to take action before anything else.
At least meet me halfway, Andy. We can't afford to be so reckless.
What do you have in mind?
Let's just pay him a visit. We can gauge how he treats us. We'll be able to tell pretty quickly. If he tries anything funny, then we act. But right now, it's not right to assume. We could be heading into a trap, you know. If we attack first, we blow our cover, then everything would just fall apart. That could easily be someone's true goal.
Very well. Anyone places his hand on Conrad's shoulder. But if he's holding the savior, or if he gives us the slightest suspicion, I'll show him no mercy, I promise. I found out that I can make the scenes fade out faster if I hold down the inner key. Ooh, would have thought. You can see how this is important to me. Normally I wouldn't go to such extremes, but Caitlin's life is on the line here. You always did have a soft spot for him. Hello, Miss Volupulous Fox. That's quite a interesting outfit you got there. It's rare to see you in dire straits, but yeah, I guess I can understand. What do you want me to do about it? I'm one of your enemies after all. Why would I help the competition? You wouldn't help the competition, but you might help a friend. Oh, we're friends now. When you needed help, that's how it works. Samantha. Don't call me that, it's Sam. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but this time I really need your help. You had your chance to recruit me, but you chose that pretty boy instead, and now you want me to help you save him? The irony is actually comedic. Are you only here to mock me? Well, I need to check in on things. My boss needs all kinds of information. On news you boss, exactly. Sorry, lips are sealed. But you're asking me to sway allegiance. Only a coin get me to that righty. And no small amount of them either. But I might also use this chance to spy, so don't think I'm yours for good. I could turn my back and sell you out. I was fully expecting to pay for this. As a mercenary, another pile of money. Very well, tell me the full story. I don't want any naughty little surprises. I don't get along with those righty. Lord Caitlin's being held prisoner, in Lord Claire's manor actually. Maybe you heard of him. Of course I have, and you're crazy. The security on his estate is massive. That's what I've come to you. I'll require a bonus then. Fine, but it's just a rescue mission. Not much else out of the ordinary. But if there are any other prisoners, I think we should extract them as well. Bonus. Also, I'm open to any important facts. If you dig up dirt on Planet of the King. Bonus. I'm about to slap you upside the head for being a little nutty bitch. Also, you may be subject to more bonuses. Especially if mission parameters change. Do you find this acceptable, righty? No, I don't. Yes, but I'm coming with you. Like hell you are, I work alone. No, you work with me now. No thanks, we tried that once before. You said I was too reckless, I think. Chose a pretty boy over me. This isn't an entrance exam, Sam. Life's on the line, you know. I didn't pay you back then. I set the mission parameters. You charge me accordingly. Fine, but I doubt you can afford me. Especially not when you meet in the cellar. Headquarters under a tavern? That's rich. Actually, it's the other way around. The tavern was built over my HQ. These tunnels are deep, lots of secrets. Remember, Velasquez funded this place. The royal treasury is nearly limitless. Trust me, I'm aware. So what do you think? Can we work together, Sam? Sure. Let's talk numbers. Okay, sure, I'll save whenever I can, even though it's tracking my saves. So there's probably something involved with your how many times you save or whatever. The throne room. I wish I knew what to do. Honestly, Dusk, I'm conflicted. I can understand, given your situation. I fear my allies are turning against me. I'm just trying to help everybody, Dusk. You've done a fine job of that, my lord. You definitely have my allegiance. For that, I'm honored.
but they don't appreciate my secrecy. I haven't really been transparent. I've been very quiet about my plans, and that means one important thing. People will fill the cracks with imagination. Their own thoughts make me a villain. People tend to do that, especially under such grim circumstances. Many citizens think worst case scenario. They don't have this life of luxury. I think you should visit the people. Work in public relations would be great. I'm not sure about public relations. No amount of that could fix what's coming. Tell me, Dusk. If you could do something truly amazing, would you do it without hesitation? Without a doubt. What if the world hated you for it? They wouldn't see the good right away, no matter how beautiful things ended up. I'm not sure, my lord. If it was good, it would be obvious. I don't see why people would hate. See, I can sense hesitance, sucks. But don't worry, I feel the same, especially when the time is finally here. And now I'm just not sure. Don't let your resolve falter, my king, especially not based on others' opinions. There are always those who would oppose you. I'm afraid that's the only advice I have. It's not bad advice. I'm glad I sought your counsel. You must think me foolish, the immortal king, doubting his actions. Oh, wrong window. There we go. I'm supposed to know everything, aren't I? Again, that's something that people say. Don't become who you think they are. Don't become who they think you are. You only end up losing your true self. And that is something we cannot lose. You are wise beyond your years, especially as numerous as they've been. Yes, they have been many, but I fear this may be my last. Okay. We're just backstory everywhere. You want me to do what? I'm sorry, I believe I misheard you. I'm afraid you didn't, Miss Armstrong. But you know who I am, in the business of protecting others. You can't expect me to consider this. Yes, you do like to protect others, but this comes with something else. You understand the importance of death. It is everywhere. It is unavoidable. While all around us it consumes us, the power of death is immeasurable. Surely you've been touched by it as well. Perhaps you've lost someone dear to you, someone you'd give anything to see again. Even the lives of others, perhaps? Yes, I have. But you can't just... Think of it this way, Max. You know what the Ark is capable of. You could bring an end to death as a whole. That's what you want, isn't it? You want your company dedicated to that? Protecting others, saving them from death? Nobody would have to lose a loved one again. No one would experience pain, grief. Surely this is worth what I am asking. You're asking me to kill. But think of the loved ones you've lost. Wouldn't you like to see them again? Bring them back? Have them full of life? There has to be some other way. I'm afraid there isn't. You've been running for death for too long. It's time to embrace it now. Live it. The rule of the Ark must not fear death. They cannot hesitate in the face of it. You have to confront it head-on, Max. You've mastered the concept of life. Your company is dedicated to preservation. It's time to embrace the other side. It's true. You protect people from death, but no matter what, death still exists. You need to gain a greater understanding. Only then will you be fit to rule. A ruler is a master of every avenue, not just one or a few. A ruler can never pretend. Until now, you've run away from death. To rule the Ark, you must be master. You must master it. I don't know what to say. This isn't something I should consider. But standing here and seeing this place... it gives your word of mouth more importance. This place is truly beautiful, but I'm not sure this is worth it. You're being honest about this power. I can't afford to deny your request, and into death, what I've always wanted. But at the cost of more death? I don't know if I want this stain my hands. I never said it had to be you, Max. Remember the gear I've given you. Using it. Accidents could happen. Also, let's not be stupid here. You've used products for your own gain. I can think of a few times without effort. How does he know that? Just who is this guy? Give me a moment to think about it, please. Of course. It's not an easy decision to make. By all means, take your time. Okay, let's recap here, Max. I was at home like I normally was. After dozing off, I found myself here. Apparently, it's a place called the Ark. The current owner wants to leave, so he's taking time to seek a replacement. He's told me that it controls time's flow, but he said it controls life and death, too. That means he can kill anyone he wants, or keep those he likes alive. For some reason, I'm in this contest, but I have to prove my mastery over death. Managing Armstrong is mastering life. I guess I need to see the other side. Maybe that's why he chose me. I'm halfway. First I mastered life, and now death. But I need to kill people to do that. I don't know. I usually do the opposite. However, he hinted I could use weapons, so that part is somewhat appealing. Wait a minute. If what he said about the Ark is true, I can just resurrect those I've killed. In that case, it is just symbolic. My actions wouldn't be permanent. Unless I lose, of course. But with all this power I couldn't control time and company assets, I don't think it's possible to lose. I'd have all the time in the world. You're a genius, Max. You can play him. Do what he wants, then reverse it all. Alright, I'm in. Can you give me more specifics? Yes. Of course. A world tour is about to launch in Tokyo. I suggest buying a plane ticket. You'll be needed there right away. Dun 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 dun. Alright, finally we can get back on with things. It's been taking a while. I don't know why I'm doing my writing voice right now. And all of a sudden, we are back to the first plot. I gazed at my phone for what seemed like an eternity. I simply couldn't process what I was seeing. Someone else had gained powers from the Ark? I knew that man wasn't telling me everything. My initial instinct was to show this to Archeron, but I couldn't reveal my powers to him just like that. In fact, I don't know who I could show this to. I'd likely have to keep this to myself, which was awful. Why couldn't someone on my side have powers? Things have not gone my way since I returned from Terra. I suddenly longed for the simpler times of yesterday. Back when my biggest worries were working Kila, I longed for the peace of what I had experienced. Especially with the fact that there are weapons here. Even after what Singe said, I was still scared. But I guess Archeron was here to protect us at least. I should pay him another visit and keep him close. But then I remembered Singe wants to see me. Perhaps he could shed more light on all this. Because as of now, I feel like a prisoner here, and that was definitely not in the contest terms. Oh, here we go. Out of the corner of the eye, I see a box on the floor. It has a small blinking light on it that's red. I don't remember seeing that before the conference. That has to be one of the weapons. Which means I need to get out of this room. But that is my only goal. I quickly walk out. But yeah. As soon as I step out, I see in the same room as before, yet this time it feels different. When I was here before, I sensed grief and apprehension, but now I sense fright and anxiety. It's palpable. I'm sure that after a conference, the press left. Why would they stay behind in a weaponized building? For now, I'm certain that it was just us here. I mean, those associated by the tour. With the tour. I doubt I'd run into any strangers for now. Knowing that, it's easier to calm down. It was welcome in the face of what I had felt before. I quickly scan the room to see what I can find. The room is practically empty. I just see Archeron. Almost instantly, he makes eye contact with me. Hey there. Just who I was looking to see. Got a meeting with the man himself, hmm? Would you be able to chat with me first? Something has been on my mind for a while. I mean, about the press conference. I'm sure you know what I mean. A while? It just happened, didn't it? In fact, I wanted to talk with you sooner, even before the conference began. I saw you go as shock and rocker, but I guess right now is fine too. In fact, it might even be better. There's something eating away at me. Did my outburst go too far? I felt like Singe belittled me on stage. He certainly shouldn't override my worry. I feel like I had a valid concern, Razzle. He chastised me for doing what I'm paid for. I only acted out of my interest to protect. I feel like others would have done it too. Especially after learning about the weapons. My past with Armstrong is not related. I think it was rude for him to imply that, especially in front of the press. I have a reputation to uphold. A guard can't be emotional like that. There must be no conflict of interest. My agency does not approve of that. The one I work for, I mean. So that's what I'm wondering. Did I do something wrong on stage? Or was I acting as I should have? Maybe Singe was out of line. That's actually a pretty good question. I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer. It's one of those multifaceted situations. He stared at me intently. He expected me to speak. And for Far be it from me to leave him hanging. I guess I should just think it over before I answer. I don't think he really was in the wrong, to be honest. Archeon likes your response. I don't think that Archeon is in the wrong here. You can never really be wrong in a conflict of interest. Two sides clashing with opposing yet moral positions. Or was Singe being moral here? Holding us in a building full of weaponry? Archeon speaking out against that was totally rational. In fact, he may be the only one brave enough. The rest of us took the news in stride. Why should he get in any heat for defending us? This is a viewpoint that I explained to him promptly. Thank you. I feel much better after hearing that. It was rude I'd be alone in my sentiment. Self-doubt is never easy to endure. It eats away at you. Tears at you from the inside. Not even all the time in the world can help. But I guess I should just move on. It does not affect my mission parameters. I need to protect everybody here. Everybody? That's not what he said before. Perhaps Singe gave him more duties. Well, you'll be safe in his office. While you're there, I'm meeting Daz. She's been acting a little odd lately. I don't know very well, of course, but I can sense when something is off. Funny you should say that. I guess he can't pick up on what I'm feeling, especially with the text I just received. I thought it would be blatantly obvious for him. Maybe his mind is occupied with something else. Or perhaps someone else. Ooh. Thank you for the little chat, Razzle. I know it's stupid that we're confined, but I still feel somewhat free. I'll take my time to greet everyone. Starting with Daz, as I mentioned before, so if you'd be kind enough to excuse me. He walked away without saying another word, without even waiting for me to respond to what he said. I'm left in front of Singe's office with my thoughts. Thoughts that someone out there wants to kill. Thoughts that someone else has powers from the Ark. Thoughts that we are surrounded by deadly weapons. About to meet the man who holds it all together. Singe, the manager of the World Tour. The one in charge of everything. Why does this feel with such an ease? Now that Archeron is here, I can hear voices. Without a doubt, they belong to Keela and Singe. The office is lit up with their conversation. I hope it didn't start without me. I'm not late. I can hear the voices as clear as day, save for a few muffled words at least. In fact, I'm curious as to what they're saying. What could be so important they can't wait? Let's just get the meeting over with. I was tempted to listen in, but I'll admit, that was not my nature. I trusted them enough not to hide anything from me. At least, they haven't deceived me thus far. They're probably just making idle conversation. It's not like they'd sit there in silence without me. So without much pause, I opened the door. See, there it is again. I made a choice earlier and that beep happened. It's a very peculiar beep. Let's save. You know, just in case you want to reload and view this wonderful moment in gaming history. Okay, looks like we're back on. I hate when random disconnections happen like that. But we're good, we're good. Yeah, looks like we're good. Alrighty then. I know nobody's watching right now. That makes me sad. We're an old married couple. Daz will have to ease into her new role. It's going to be a bit overwhelming for her. Hopefully, I can help make it easier. I don't want her getting uncomfortable. I should Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Almost ran right into you. Watch where you're going, alright? Oh, trust me. I was. And you're just the man I was looking for. Wait, you were looking for me? Think you have me confused, lady. You know, with someone important. Now, don't leave me waiting, Rook. I've been looking everywhere for you. There's no need to be rude about this. I have prior engagements. However, would you like an appointment? I'm open to rescheduling this. Just let me know what time you're free. An appointment? I can work with that. You know, the press conference room? Yeah, that's like my second home. Singe sure has a flair for the dramatic. Holds a conference for almost everything. Would you be able to meet me there later? I'm asking you to come alone, of course. What is the nature of this appointment? Business, of course. You're Singe's assistant, right? He's hard to reach, so I'll take you. You have to be a little less vague. Do you really not know who I am? I'm not big on the tabloids, sorry. I'll have to take that as a compliment. Either way, call me Maxine Armstrong. I am the CEO of Armstrong Incorporated. Oh, that's who you are. He kept all of your dealings private. That's one thing I hate most. Hiding. I always go for transparency. Withholding information is horrible. You have to excuse my lack of joy. Can't expect everybody to bow before you. I'm not exactly a fan of your work, Max. Wow. You're just as cocky as she said. She? Oops, I've said too much. The rest can wait for our appointment. How does 7 o'clock sound to you, Rook? I'm free. And the press room is good? As good as any other, I suppose. Great, I'll see you then. And remember, come alone, Rook. Yeah, whatever. I have stuff to do. Yes, of course you do. You're a busy man. By all means, enjoy what time you have left. In the present. You should slow down on the caffeine. I heard it's not good for you, Shock. And I mean that as a friend. 6 energy drinks in one day? Dang, really? Pounding away at those things. I haven't had much sleep. I'm drinking them to stay awake. Rook robbed me of my rest last night. Couldn't you just take a nap then? There's not much to be done today. I'd say it's a write-off. Get some rest. I can't. What do you mean? I tried earlier and that's my dreams. They haven't caught up to reality yet. He's still in there, you know what I mean? Oh. That might take a while, Shock. You need to sleep sometime soon. Those drinks can't keep you up that long. You don't know what it's like. Sure I do. I just cope differently. We all handle death in different ways. Some people can't even be harmful with it. Coping, that's what you think this is? When I look at the brand you're drinking, I'd have to say yes. The contest is over. There's no need for you to drink that many, Shock. I don't know what you're hoping to find. There won't be anything inside those cans. You might have to look elsewhere, Shock. You're reading into this too much. It's not like I drink these to honor him. It doesn't work that way for me, remember? Funny you jumped to that conclusion. I didn't mention anything of the sort. You might not realize what you're doing. Sometimes your body does it automatically. It was largely the same for me, Shock. Ever wonder why I carry a bass guitar? You know for a fact I can't play one. You mean... Yes, it's a memento, but it's more permanent than a pop star. It'll last forever, given the right care. You might need to change your thinking. I'm not stupid, Shock, and you know that. You're only pretending to be carefree. You need to cope, not push it aside. You said it could last forever? Yes, with love and care, Shock. This will last as long as I want it to. It might even outlive me at this rate. I might be reading too much into this. I'm strong enough. I don't need a crutch. A memento would just flood me with memories. It might make it more intense at first, but eventually it'll give it a new meaning. The memento becomes yours, not theirs. I'm not sure I follow. You'll have to see for yourself, Shock. I'm not going to force anything on you, but at least tell me you'll consider it. And promise to lay off the pop star. I don't need you anxious and jittery. Fine. If you have any bad experiences, call me. Night terrors or anything in between. I'm your friend, Shock. I'm here for you. I know you're strong enough to do this. Don't play the ground guy and go at it alone. Proud guy and go at it alone. That's the worst possible idea, man. It ensures the problem never goes away. You bottle it up and eventually explode. We don't want any exploding happening here. Wow. Well, this time you're right. Thank you for the advice. No problem. You know, everyone says we fight a lot. But I say we're just really good friends. And I think we just proved that. Yeah. Well, I should probably get going. I want to meet with Razzle again. I felt bad for being rude last time. At least you apologized. I didn't know you were capable of that. Now you're just trying to start an argument. Hey, at least it keeps your mind occupied. Fair enough. Just I'm turning into a jerk. Yeah, wouldn't want to become you. Oh, burn. I hate you. No, you don't. They laugh and give wide smiles to one another. I'll follow behind. I have to stay here for a bit. I have an important meeting to attend. Uh-oh. Alright, take care. He slowly walks away, leaving Rocker behind. No one ever asked me to meet up with them. Excuse me. Let alone someone as influential as her. I wonder if it's something special. Woo! Continuing their prior conversation. More backstory. Remember, Max, if you win, you can undo all the damage. You're not exactly down for killing. You're just playing a part, fooling him. Take deep, concentrated breaths. Do not let the anxiety overtake you. None of this will be permanent. You can bring them back, even her. Tokyo, Can't say I've ever been there, aside from Africa. I stayed in America. Another person of interest will arrive, too. They are secondary to your objective. You must ensure that they stay alive. But everyone else in the tour must die. All of them? How many are there? I'll give you a list. However, you have to wait before acting. This game doesn't start until the bell tolls. And what exactly is this bell? The death of Clace, of course. Let me explain this in an easier manner. As I said, there's a special guest. I have to keep my eyes on them as well, so your test is happening close by. Other people are competing with you, Max. We need one large event to start this, something that everybody will know of. I can think of nothing more fitting. The death of their figurehead star. I see. I will give you a specific date and time. It'll be up to you to kill him then. After that, you have 24 hours. Alright, that makes perfect sense. Will it kill Clace? Then kill the others. I'll have 24 hours from that point. Yes, but you will have time to practice. And lots of time to set things up too. You can use your company as cover. Practice murder? Yes, I have the perfect opportunity. I'll give you free reign of Tokyo's people, but this is under one condition. The deaths must happen exactly at midnight. That seems rather specific. It benefits another venue of mine. I can't say much more than that, Max. I understand. This is all or nothing game. If anyone is left alive, you lose. You must deliver death to all of them. Until you kill Clace, you can practice. That and formulate your entire plan. You have a will toward the infiltrate. But with the power to stop time? I don't see that's as much of an issue. I'm looking forward to your results. Just make sure that the VIP stays alive. They are present, but not on the list. You can't afford to be reckless, Max. I am certain that you won't disappoint. Especially given this generous time frame. I hope to see you stand in my place. I'll do my best. So, about this list? Of course, take notes on your phone. You'll be using it a lot from now on. So, Max is a midnight killer. That's a pretty low-key reveal. The week of the tour's arrival in Tokyo. Thanks for working with my schedule. I know you were quite eager, Max. It's nice to finally meet with you. Yes, of course. This is important to me. I ensured my schedule was wide open. I didn't want any conflicts regarding time. I'm glad that it all worked out. So, may I ask what you wanted to say? I've never had someone so set on a meeting. You must be very passionate about this. I guess you could use that word. Your employees called it stubborn. You must mean Rook. I assure you, he's harmless. You'll see if you run into him in person. He can be very rude in his emails, but honestly, that's what I need. He's succinct and on the ball. He weeds out those who would waste my time. And he doesn't do damage to our public image. I'd say it's a win-win scenario, Max. I can see how he'd scare people away. You're lucky to have a man like him. Let's just hope he stays with the team. I read about his work in the past, how he ran away from a maid cafe. I hope he's as reliable as you say. I'm surprised you were able to learn that. He's usually very secretive about his past. I've seen him take down entire websites. I have my ways. I'm sure, but let's be more open. You didn't come here to talk about Rook. What are you after, Miss Armstrong? Don't say it like that, Singe. It makes me sound shallow. I want to protect your workforce. Our catalog grows ever larger. I'm sure we could find something you'd like. Can't put a price on your loved ones. Oh, this is a sales pitch after all. I'm sorry, Max. I don't have time for this. I'm a very busy man with things to do, places to go, and people to see. Well, let's not jump to conclusions. A sales pitch means you're able to decline. It implies you have a choice in the matter. Come again? Excuse me? I already have my men arming the building. They'll be finished in a couple of hours. What? Oh, don't worry about it, Singe. We're using largely non-lethal weapons. You know, chemical dispersion and stuff. There'll only be a couple explosives. Sorry, but I had to take the initiative. That's how you build an empire, Singe. Have your men back off immediately. Max, we are in a foreign country. You don't have the permits or permission. Already taken care of, Singe. You seem to underestimate me. I want no part in this. I am uncomfortable housing weapons. I don't own this place. Please, stop. I won't hesitate to call the police. Don't want to escalate this, Max. Back away from this peacefully. You're right. You don't own this place. Just a couple weeks ago, I bought it. It's property of Armstrong Incorporated. As of this moment, you're a trespasser, in clear violation of the law, Singe. How would that look on your record? You're bribing me? It's more like blackmail, buddy. No, I haven't got that part yet. Singe, if you don't let us arm this place, I'll have you charged for trespassing. But I paid for a lease. That's not how this works, Max. It's a legally binding contract. Any contract can be bought out. You just need the right amount of cash. It turns out, I have a limitless supply. You still wish to contest this? Yes, I do. I was hoping it wouldn't come to that. Max reaches into her pocket and pulls out a photograph. Look at this. How did you get that? I keep that in my pocket at all times. You don't know what you're dealing with. Forces beyond your control are at play. You need to let me do this. And now, the person in this photograph. They mean the world to you. Yes. So, if the law won't make you cave, I'll have to get a little bit more personal. You'll lose someone dear to you instead. I demand your full cooperation, Singe. Otherwise, I'll take things into my own hands. And doing so, take your world away. She rips the photograph in half. No! Who are you? No one important. At least, not yet. I already went through your phone. I got your number and a few others. Expect me to be in touch. It seems this tour may start off with a bang. Well then. She's quite a little devil. Move on, move on. Yeah, I can't even leave this place. How am I supposed to move on from anything? This has to be against some sort of law. I feel like I'm a hostage or something. The cafe is losing its business, too. Everyone will wonder why we're closed. I hope they don't think it's a repeat. Last time we almost closed for good. Look what happened, Eclair. A harmless break, you said. Yeah, right. Hey there, is everything okay? Oh, hey, I just want to get out of here. I didn't realize I'd be stuck inside. I have places to be, you know? Yeah, I know the feeling. There's a lot of stuff I'd rather do. Sorry I had to get caught up in this. What brought you here in the first place? Well, I came to watch the press conference. I know a guy who works for Singe. I just wanted to see how he was doing. But I guess it's impossible now. It's probably best I just move on. Move on? Yeah, it's definitely holding me back. In fact, it's got me into trouble. I feel dumb. It should be easy. I highly doubt you're dumb. Moving on isn't the easiest thing to do. It's something I'm trying to do as well. Call me Shock. It's nice to meet you. You can call me Eclair. I own a maid cafe in Akihabara. In fact, I should be there right now, but I guess I'm trapped in here, with weapons that can go off any time? That's some great peace of mind, Shock. No idea what's going through Singe's head, but none of it seems like a good idea. I hope he has something planned. You're not the only one who thinks that. Trust me, we're pretty much all opposed. But Singe's words are final around here. He's been a little paranoid lately, ever since, well, you probably know. Yeah, I can tell. So what do you recommend I do? Since I can't leave, I mean. Just have to pass the time, I guess. Keep my mind occupied for now. That's what I've been doing. This place does have a lot of cool things. There's a neat diner on the main floor. There's a great water park, too. You can even go get a massage. I guess this place has it all. Too much on my mind to enjoy that. And I never really liked the water. Seems like someone else might enjoy that. Oh, that's too bad. Let me know and change your mind. If. I doubt it'd help with my current issue. You mentioned moving on too? What's your situation? Well, Clace was my best friend. Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm terribly sorry for bringing it up. Please forgive me, Shock. Trust me, it's fine. I heard it's good to talk about this stuff. Gotta let everything out, you know. Yeah, I suppose. Well, you didn't object to the dinner. Did the diner? Want me to show you around the place? That's lots of stuff you can find. I heard there omurice is to die for, and you can tell me about yourself. Sure, what the heck? Not like there's anything else to do. And omurice is my weakness after all. You're a nice guy, Shock. I hope your situation gets better. Losing a friend is never easy. Perhaps I can give you some advice. I went through the same thing a while back. That sounds great. Just follow me, Eclair. Ooh, is someone gonna hook up with someone? Would you like to save your game? Why is Rocker there if... Did anybody else catch that? When I arrive in the office, they stare at me intently. I quickly apologize for any tardiness that I have displayed. I explain that Archeon held me up in order to chat. That seems to be enough to sate their curiosity. No worries, we had no schedule. Besides, Keela kept me company. We had quite a lot to chat about. Yeah, Singe is really cool. He's smart and well-spoken. I can learn a lot from him. You flatter me, Keela, but please have a seat. There's much to discuss. I do as instructed and sit beside Keela. I expected the atmosphere in the room to be happy, but for some reason I feel a sense of dread. Singe also looks like he's at his wit's end. At the press conference, he seemed so calm and carefree, but it must have been an act for the public. I have to wonder, is this how he truly feels? I wanted to start by thanking you both. Your dedication has been unmatched. The contest was a massive success. To that end, I have a present for you. I wanted to give it to you much earlier. Just give me a moment to get them all right. Singe reaches under his desk for a few moments. He opens and closes drawers looking for something. After a few moments, he smiles and lets out a sigh, almost like he was afraid he lost them for a moment. I know you had to give away the cans. The ones that you won your spot, you mean. I mean, to be honest, I found that silly. So I decided to have some replicas made. Something you could keep as a souvenir. They're exactly the same as you knew. Yes, I am a man of sentiment. The contest clearly meant a lot to you, so I thought this would be a nice gift. He places the 2 cans of Popstar on his desk. Me and Keela exchange glasses with one another. Wow, Singe, that's really awesome. I was excited to give mine away, but now everything is A-okay. Keela happily grabs his can and places it in his pocket. It sure was interesting. I didn't expect it. The can on the desk reminds me of those simpler times. It was an exact replica of the one that got me here. But now it seems a little different, doesn't it? After all that happened, was it really so prestigious? It seemed like it won us lots of pain and suffering. I hoped to myself things would resolve happily. Still, I don't want to seem rude, so I accept the offering. I rest it in my lap, noticing that it's full. I'm assuming Singe wants it to stay that way. I had to guard over these cans with my life. I don't want them to get stolen or leaked. Then there could have been 2 more winners. This is a personal present for myself. Please treat them with love and care. With that said, we have to move on. A lot happened since we arrived here, and especially since you 2 arrived. I am so sorry it has come to this, but I no longer feel safe keeping you here. I have arranged for transportation. Tomorrow you will both be taken home. I'm afraid the contest is cancelled. Trust me, it's not what I want here. And I truly wish I had better news, but we have to move on from this. You 2 are exempt from my previous rule of having to stay inside the building. You're both free, but that's not all. You'll be receiving compensation, of course. We had a lot of money set aside for you 2. Instead, we'll just give it to you. You'll get a check before you leave, for about $100,000. Wow, that could put me through college. I hope these terms are acceptable. Your flight home will be tomorrow. I hope that we can be mature here. Will you agree to these terms? I will. I nod in acceptance. I can't exactly say no, but I knew I'll still need it in Terra, so I'd have to play the rest of this by ear. The money isn't much when the worlds are at stake. With that said, I have one last gift. Singe reaches into his pocket and pulls out 2 cards. Interesting. They appear to be credit cards. There's one for each of you. They have a few $1,000s on them. It'll help you out until you cash the check. This is my own personal money, too. Another gift. Directly from me. There are a lot of amenities on site. I trust you'll enjoy your final day. Your flight will leave by noon. Meet me in the lobby at 7 o'clock. Okay. Gillo grabs one of the cards and puts it in his pocket. I follow suit and do the same thing. This is eerie. It's almost like this wasn't happening. It was surreal. The end of an era, it feels like. Everything we both wanted taken away from us. But I can't give up. There's still lots to solve. Just then, Singe's phone rings. He puts a finger up, ordering us to wait a moment. Yes, Singe speaking. I see. Are you certain? I understand. Please call for help. Singe hangs up the phone. He slumps down in his chair with a huge sigh. What happened? Who was that? I'm afraid I have some bad news. A corpse was found on the premises. In the backstage area, to be precise. Are you serious? Singe places both hands over his face. He continues to speak, but it's muffled. It's unclear what emotion is worn underneath. No one's welcome. Our guitarist. Again, a much earlier time. So, I guess that's all I need to say. The list, those people, and Razzle, not to mention the power I've given you. Any questions before I send you back? Remember, this may be your only chance. I don't want you leaving with any regrets. Oh, snap! So we have 3 people who's been in the arc. None. It's all very clear. It might be hard to find a way in. The tour already has a guard, you know. It shouldn't be an issue. And after that, your opposition. Their goal is to kill. Yours is to protect. Again, it shouldn't be an issue. I've never failed any of my clients. I have no need to treat this differently. Well, there's some wheeler here. You just need to leave one person alive. For your competition, it's all or nothing. It'll be interesting to see who wins. Life and death, fighting each other. The spot is as good as mine. I have no intention of ruining my record. I've never let a client down before. Very well. I have one final request, however, regarding the one called Razzle. What is it? I'll be making up a big story. Something about parallel worlds. They'll think they have a power. If they tell you this, humor them. They mustn't know the truth of things. They are the key to my other venture. Very well. With that being said, are you ready for the games to begin? The eternal struggle of life and death, but this time we will have a victor. Yes, I am. Good. And one final thing. When you meet your opposition, I think you'll come to understand. There's no motivation like sibling rivalry. Does that mean those two are related? Velasquez kneels at an altar, surrounded by silence. In my time of need, I fear I am alone, but who does a man such as me pray to, when I already bear the burden of the world, and when the fate is now upon us? He grips the scepter in his hands, trembling softly. A monument to the dead is my only hope. Perhaps that is proof enough of my failure. But I know that we can find salvation, for nothing is below such a right. Not as long as they have the power, or if they have the strength to use it. The fate of the universe is now a gamble, and here I am filled with doubt, when once I was so sure. But however, it is too late. They are coming with 1,000 furies, and they will seek only our destruction. Taking a deep breath, he stands. But as they say about desperate times, he aims the sharp side of the scepter towards his body. He drives it through his chest. With a frightening scream, he loses his balance. Grabbing onto a few pews for balance, he watches the floor become stained with his blood. He cries, "For Terra and the Immortal King." Chapter 6. Life, Death. Alright, now we're starting to see more interesting pieces fall into place here. We sit in silence for far too long. Singe rests his face in his hands in utter defeat. Keela and I exchange glances, unsure of what to do. Was Rocker truly dead? And aligning perfectly with this mysterious text? Wait. I have to use my brain here. The message said a friend of mine would die today. I can't say that I consider Rocker a friend. We had next to no contact since I arrived. The only people I had real contact with, Keela and Rook. But they're safe and sound. But Rook's at a meeting. Or will be soon. And perhaps leave this place together. We shouldn't have to wait till morning. Not with a danger like this looking about. Especially not since we have those credit cards. Singe, are you okay? I am conflicted. Rocker was a prodigy. Its loss is profound. Not so for me and my endeavors, but the music industry as a whole. He takes out his phone and starts texting. I must confer with Archeron, but I think we all know what this means. What? The killer is among us. This calls for a change of plans. A change? I need to work with Archeron. Together we can catch this killer. While on the other hand, your flight home has been bumped up. I'll make sure you're home later tonight. I'm sure you understand. Clace was not an isolated incident. The worst has come to pass. We are under attack, and I cannot risk you two as casualties. Yeah, I understand. Talk about worst case scenario. I wonder if this tour will even happen. So much has gone to waste. But for what purpose? Why would somebody want to do this? That's a good question, actually. And I did have a better grasp on things than he did. If someone was misusing their powers from the Ark, why'd that man give it to them in the first place? I assumed that he chose the specimens carefully. At least that's the impression he gave to me. I didn't think he chose someone so reckless. In fact, I thought I was the only one chosen. And do I really want to leave? I feel like I have a part to play in this mystery. For now, it seems like this ends tonight. And that's all the time I have before I'm set home. That's a tall order. Catch a murder and save Terra in one night? I feel like I bit off more than I can chew. So what do you do in the meantime? I would suggest sticking together, or at least be around those you trust. Shock and Rocker rarely parted the ways. The killer must have been watching. They waited until Rocker was alone. Don't give him that chance. Oh, well, Rook is boned. I'm afraid that's all the advice I have. Wait a minute. You're gonna make us stay here when there's a killer out and about? That's crazy. I thought maybe you'd make us wait at the airport or something, Cinch, but keeping us in harm's way? That's a very pessimistic way of looking at things, Kayla. You should rethink this. This is basically a hostage situation. We might as well have guns to our heads. And what's the one thing you must never do with a gun pointed at you? Make sudden movements. Exactly. A rash action like that might provoke the assailant into taking rash actions of their own. We must remain here. I think it's best if we let them assume their plans are coming to fruition. That way we can catch them off guard later on. I will discuss the best course of action with Archeon. If I'm not mistaken, this is far from his first brush with the killer. But as it stands, I think the best course of action is not to give off the impression that we fear the killer, that we're running. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Truth be told, I don't either, but Archeon will. If the plan changes, I'll let you know. You got Singe's contact information. Alright. Singe leans back in his chair with a sigh. At first, I thought I was responsible for Clace's death. That maybe allowing him to leave this place put him in danger. But now I know we've been targeted. Honestly, I think that Clace would have been attacked no matter where he was. I don't know if that's scary, if it's reassuring. But right now, the burden of responsibility is one easily discarded. I feel as if my mind has become more clear. I will use this newfound resolve to find and restrain the killer, give them justice. And Archeon and myself will do it swiftly. He slams a fist down on this table. You're free to go. Please heed the advice I gave earlier, and I'll be in contact about your flight. I can understand where he's coming from. Guilt can be a devastating force. Razzle, you can go. I need to have a few words with Singe. I'll run into you later, I'm sure. Keela reclines in his chair, clearly displaying that he's here to stay. Very well. Be safe, Razzle. I nod. This is all a lot to process. I guess we're expected to act like rats in a cage, moving as the mastermind expects. Hopefully none of us wants to rattle that cage. Well, now we have people dying. Although... let's save that right. Okay, why is Shock there, along with Rocker? I take a deep breath as I close the door behind me. I press my back against it, resting for a moment. Singe was relieved that he's not responsible? It's kind of odd to be relieved in this kind of situation, but I understand where he's coming from. We all wallowed in self-pity before. At least he's free to use his energy in other ways. In this case, plotting with Archeon. Regardless of how I feel about Singe's current plan, I know that Archeon will keep us safe. And I take some sense into him. I'll talk some sense into him if he's off track. It wasn't my place to decide what they did, but it wasn't my place to defy Archeon's orders either. They definitely hired the best in the business. Razzle. As a Kiwi approaches me. I saw the paramedics carry out a body bag. I was terrified, wondering who it could be, but I got a text from Singe right away. I'm glad to see that you're safe. But in light of what happened, I think some changes need to be made. Singe does not have a good grasp on things. I expect some answers from him promptly, and I expect him to put me in charge. Rocker's death was a tragedy. One that could have easily been avoided, if only... Cutting off Archeon, Shark appears with Fevor. What did you just say? I was just saying. It's a tragedy what happened to Rocker. He was so young as well. Shark's hands turn to fists. He trembles, clearly fighting off tears. Tell me what happened. Archeon looks at me, unsure of how to respond. I shrug. Dealing with this is not my expertise. There's an incident shock, like what happened to Clays. Actually, it was exactly the same. Archer died the same way? I guess Singe gave Archeon more info than us. But this was true then. The person texting me. They killed Clays, but not only that, they were the Midnight Killer, using their power from the Ark for nefarious purposes. Then, the culprit really is in this building? And with access to power from a place like that? I shiver, utterly terrified at the implications. It's all connected. More than I thought. I wouldn't be surprised if Terra was involved too. You mean... Unfortunately, yes. How could you let this happen? Me? Best in the business? Perfect track record? You're supposed to be here to save us. What were you doing instead? Do you even know where Rocker was? Well, judging by... I don't care about judging by. Your stupid deductions won't save anyone. 2 of my friends have already died. Shut up. In a fit of anger, Shock throws a punch at Archeon. But Archeon doesn't move from his place. He stands his ground. Reaching out a paw, he catches Shock's punch. What? Archeon squeezes Shock's fist. He trembles in pain, trying to break free. But Archeon's grip tightens. It looks like Shock's fingers might snap at any second. Hey! Let go! It's clear that Shock is starting to panic. Perhaps he thought less of Archeon or more of himself. It's very hypocritical of you to say that. Instead of releasing his grip, he tightens it further. Don't place the blame of this on me. We're dealing with a serial killer here, and if I'm supposed to protect you, you don't want to be on my bad side. He releases his grip. Shock flies back and lands on the floor. The momentum of his attempts to escape used against him. He quickly pushes himself up and runs away. He covers his face as if in shame. After a few moments pass, Archeon turns back to me. Terribly sorry about the scene. I have little patience for men like him. Quick to anger, irrational, you know. I saw it in his eyes. He thinks I'm responsible for Rocker. There's no way that he's thinking clearly. I know it's my job to protect, but I can't be everywhere all at once. It's not fair for him to blame me. I'm afraid that now I'm self-conscious. I must let his thinking dissuade me. He puts a paw on his shin, in deep thought. Perhaps it would be best if you followed after him. I think in this situation, he might do what would be considered stupid. People can do that when they've lost everything. When they have nothing left to lose. It could put us all in danger. I'm only suggesting this because I saw you hanging out with him and Rocker earlier. I think it's better that you do this. Especially with what just happened. I don't want to do that to him again. Of course. I'm sure he'll find a way to twist my actions against me. I'm only one man. We're not gods. We're limited. Can we truly be held responsible for something we've never had the power to stop in the first place? This, I'm not sure. Either way, you should get going. I have a meeting with Singe as well. I promise to change for the better. I'll be in touch as soon as I'm out. You got Archeon's contact information. He gives me a nod and it slowly walks away. I suppose he's right. I should catch up on Shock. I notice Keela exiting Singe's office. He runs downstairs without even seeing me. I wonder what's on his mind. He's been acting a little off lately. Archeon shrugs as he enters the office. I do the same, as I follow after Shark. Keela wanders the convention center by himself, seemingly against the previous instructions of Singe. He scans the room in a curious manner, as if he's looking for something unsure of what it is. I really hope I'm not late. Singe sure likes the sound of his own voice. He nervously presses his back against the wall. To pass the time, he uses his phone for a few moments. But out of the corner of his eye, he noticed something. A figure slowly approaches him. It's confirmation enough that he's not too late. He lets out a sigh of relief. Hello, Keela. I'm glad you could make it. Me too, actually. I didn't think Singe would ever shut up. He's really determined to catch this killer. Yeah, I can tell. Good thing my weapons are here. I doubt Archeon could stop him himself. He's too infatuated with Daz. Really? I didn't figure him the type. He seemed all business and no pleasure. It's hard to get a read on him sometimes. Either way, let's not waste any time. I'm glad you agreed to this meeting. Well, of course. I never leave someone like you hanging. That's not every day to the billionaire. Just call me Max, Keela. My money does not define me. Oh, of course. I didn't mean to offend you, Max. It's okay, Keela. You didn't know, but I'm here as Max, now as the CEO of Armstrong Incorporated. Fair enough. Well, I'm here as Keela, so we're on even playing ground. What did you want to talk to me about? About everything that's going on right now. Sorry for just assuming a moment ago, but are you thankful for the weapons here? I'm not sure. I know Archeon isn't, but he's also not doing his job. I mean, if he was, Rocker would be alive, right? Glad you see it my way. But your weapons didn't help either, so I can't say for sure. Sorry, Max. Wow, what a sharp wit you have. If that wasn't funny, I'd be offended. Singe is the one responsible for that. He has the key to detonate the weapons. I do too, but it's not my job. He bought them, so he should use them. Instead, he's too busy drowning himself in alcohol and sorrow. What a drama queen he is. Well, Rocker's death changed that. He realized Clay's death wasn't his fault. So he feels a little better now. Is that so? Yeah, so maybe his judgment will be a little bit more clear. It's still no excuse for Rocker, though. I'll say. I guess my weapons haven't exactly gotten a chance to prove themselves yet. I hope that you'll give them a proper chance. I guess. I'm not going to be here for much longer anyways. I'm flying home later. But Singe wants it to keep a secret. He says if the killer knows what we're plotting, they might take rash action. Oh. Really? Max smirked softly. Thank you for sharing that with me. Wouldn't want you to get caught in the fray. Yeah, exactly. So whatever happens here, I'm out. I don't want to come here to begin with. Wow, can't believe you said that. You must trust me if you let that slip up. I don't see why I can't. I hate Tokyo. It's so stupid. Everyone's staring at me like I'm weird. I know. I dug into your history a little bit. Really? Why? You're just so interesting, Keela. Did you tell anyone else? I mean, the real reason why you're here? No? That's probably for the best. It would be a shame if everyone ever found out you were lying, though, this time. Hey! You keep that to yourself, Max. Perhaps I will. Or perhaps I won't. I'd be more inclined to keep it to myself if you were to do me a small favor, Keela. Fine. Checkmate, I guess. Oh, not quite yet. But I'm afraid I have to go for now. My favor involves another meeting. At about 7 o'clock tonight. Are you down for that? Sure, where at? Second door on the right. There's a small meeting room there. It'll give us much more privacy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have another meeting to attend to. She disappears just as fast as she arrived. I had to open my big mouth. I keep getting myself into trouble. Well, people are gonna die. More people are gonna die. I can just, yeah. Yep, save the game. In case I want to go back and try to make people not die. I don't know. What do we got? 2 hours. Woo. This is a long one. Dusk. I've been thinking. You mentioned a visit to the people. That this may help with public relations. Of course, Velasquez. Your public image is very important. Especially if you wish to dispel rumors. Yes, but I've thought of something else. And what is that, my king? A visit to the people might be wrong. If I parade over them in my lavish outfit, rife with luxury, they would feel hurt. This would be like a pompous display of ownership, in a way I don't intend. Would you like me to prepare a new outfit? I could allocate funds from the treasury, something more rustic perhaps. Maybe not fully intact, with holes. That look seems to be all the rage. No, Dusk. I must not disguise myself. Hiding who I am also gives off a bad image. I'm afraid I don't follow. What else could you be planning, my king? It may be risky, but I want to open the doors of my castle. I want the people to come to me. They will be able to walk these halls, as if they were in their own home. Those will give off the image I intend, that Terra truly belongs to its people, and that I don't hold back from them. Really? I would advise against that. We may be subject to massive theft, not to mention your enemies may. Use this opening to plan an attack? Trust me, I've considered all the avenues. Let me describe my plan in more detail. Of course, my lord. I do not mean to be crass. When everyone has arrived, I will have them gather in the atrium. At this point, I'll address all of them at once. I will be fully forthcoming. This is where they will learn what I have planned for myself in the future of Terra. At that point, we will open our grand hall. We'll have a feast for the ages. A ball that will be etched in time. And I will close by ending my reign. You can't be serious, Velasquez. It needs to be done, Dusk. If my enemies still wish to attack me after hearing everything I have to say, then I'll accept my appointed fate. For the repercussions of my death will be negligible compared to what comes next. And this twisted monarchy will end, succeeded by what the people decide. However, if my plan comes to fruition, I will leave them a beautiful world. In much better shape than it is right now. The mumblings of this new Terra, perhaps they are not as far off as they think. We can only hope that. Velasquez groans in pain, grasping at his chest. My lord, are you okay? He moves his hand from his chest, stained with blood. Yes, I'm fine. Sir, you're bleeding. Please, do not be alarmed. An old wound must have reopened. I'm capable of tending to it myself. You're dismissed. Yes, of course. Please call on me if you need my aid. If it gets worse, we must take action. Moments later, Velasquez leans against the wall. He grips the scepter in his hands. Has it stopped working? Has what stopped working? Well, why? Oh, well, because I'm going to go see Shock, I guess, but I don't know. It seems weird. So, yeah, we went to go follow Shock. I kind of just skipped that because it's all just a bunch of droning on about stuff as usual. Why did you follow me? I guess he doesn't want to beat around the bush. I think for a moment before I answer him. I wanted to know how you're feeling. I mean, you know, you seem pretty beat up over that. Shock is happy but confused. He looks at me confusingly, like he didn't expect me to ask about his feelings. I don't know, honestly. You know what's going on around here, and Clace and Walker were my best friends. When you tour with people, you grow so close to them. You become inseparable, and you become more than just friends. When you perform on stage, it's almost like you're one entity, seamless and perfect. To have it taken away, I've lost a part of me I'll never get back. I can't perform like that again, because I won't have them by my side. He turns to the side and starts chugging. That full can quickly becomes empty. No replacement will ever fill that void, so what can I do if I can never perform like I want to? That's what I've been struggling with. I think I finally decided. I'm going to resign. Quit the business. It's really my only course of action. I'd rather honor their memory. Plus, it would make me happy. If I stayed in the business, I'd have to perform with someone else. I mean, I'd have to find a replacement for Clace, and a replacement for Rocker, too. That's not a good thing to do. I wouldn't want to give off the impression that they were expendable. They aren't. People move on in show business every day. I don't think that's something I can do. A week from now, Singe will already have a new set of idols and a new tour planned. But me? I just couldn't do that. They meant too much to me, you know? And they mean a lot to the world, too. So I think I'm going to step down. Do you think that's a good idea? I fear that torn up over it, yeah. Do what makes you happy. Shock likes your response. He smiles at me slightly. I was thinking about my next career choice. Something like a philanthropist. I've only ever wanted the best for others. And I have the time and money for it. Make more than enough with my royalties. In fact, I could retire and do nothing. That seems like a waste. I wouldn't be making a difference at all. I feel like Clace and Rocker would be more proud of me if I went and I caused change. But then the question remains, what kind of change? I guess I need to think on that, but I've already made up my mind. The more concrete details can come later. Actually, I think... He stops himself before he continues to speak. Sorry, I just got a little excited. I didn't mean to ramble on like that. No need to apologize. I have to say this whole situation is odd. I expected Shark to be hostile and angry, or at the very least, hateful towards Archeron. But see him planning his future? Is he trying to move on, or is this just escapism? It's hard to tell when you're dealing with grief. You keep making actual effort to move on, or pushing aside in denial. I think I know what it is, though. It hasn't even been 24 hours since Clace's death. I don't think it's possible to move on that fast. Hey, you there? You must have zoned out. I wanted to talk to you about Archeron. Oh, he does want to talk about Archeron. Perhaps I spoke too early beforehand. He must still be mad about what happened. Let me get this out of the way first. It isn't because he overpowered me. I have some genuine concerns. I just kept them quiet so far. I hope that I can trust you with this. I can trust you, right? And not affirmatively. He's a very suspicious man, you know. Some things just don't add up to me. The old security guard disappears, Clace dies, a new guard appears, Rocker dies. It's too convenient. The killer also has to be somebody here. Rocker's death proved that. And I don't know how you feel, but it feels like he gave me a death threat. Back in front of Singe's office, I mean. He hinted that he'd let me die if I didn't stay on his good side, and that's horrible. That did happen. But I don't think Archeon is a killer. He kept mentioning this perfect track record of his, too. Turns out it's not so perfect, but not because of Rocker's death. What? I was looking up his name online. There seems to be hints here and there of an operation he was part of in Africa, but he refuses to talk about it publicly. And anything that was promising has since been taken offline. He's hiding something. What would he want to hide, though? It would have to be something shameful. Something that affects his reputation. What else could that be but a failure? Turns out he's not as perfect as we thought. In fact, there's lots of stuff about him that just leads to long dated web pages. It takes power to do that en masse. I find this all a little hard to believe. So he's lying about his perfect track record, or at the very least, hiding facts about his past? The latter is more acceptable. But the former makes me doubt almost everything. It goes deeper, trust me. I cross-reference the data of Archeon's time in Africa with other notable events. This is where it gets interesting. Maxine Armstrong was also present. Of course, she said she was just visiting, that she didn't have any business there, but she must have been lying. That week, there were explosions. The details of that are also hard to find. But it was all in the same small village. The same one that Archeon was in as well. I'm not grasping at straws. They were there together, and now they're here together. In Africa, and it in explosions. That hasn't happened here yet. So right now, we're one step ahead. It's all too connected to be nothing. Everything about the village during that time span is also impossible to find. Something bad happened in Africa, and it's happening here as well now. Maybe there's some sort of murdering duo? It can't be coincidence that they're both here, but why were the details of Africa so hard to find? I'm assuming that Shock is truthful, of course. I doubt he's the type to make this up. But doesn't Archeon hate Armstrong with a passion? He also had no idea that Maxine was involved here. Allegedly. Could be an act to throw us off the trail. We need to get Singe to evacuate now. The bottom line is we're not safe here. We need to push Archeon away. We can't put our lives in his hands. Come on, you're with me, right? I'm not sure what to say, but he thinks that Archeon is hiding failures. I wouldn't believe it, but Rocker's already dead, only after a few hours. So I have proof of his failure right in front of me. However, he's been acting up since the press conference. Perhaps Armstrong's involvement affects his judgment. This case got personal for him very fast. But then there's the issue of Africa. Him and Max both in the same village with explosions, and now they're both here with bombs too. It doesn't appear to me as pure coincidence. And it's clear that Shock wants a response now. I don't blame him with how fast things have happened, but I need to think carefully. There's always a chance he's just vindictive. Rocker did die under Archeon's watch, and Archeon did make Shock out to be pretty weak. What do I tell him? Word has its way of spreading. Let's stay on his good side. He laughs at me and claps his hand a couple times. After this, an awkward silence ensues. Wait, you weren't joking? Even after everything I told you? I nod. This is his job and all eyes are on him. Whatever happens, we'll not escape the media barrage. If he wants to maintain his good name, he won't slip up. I can't take the evidence from Shock as proof. It was all tangible, hardly concrete. I thought better of you. I won't lie. But mark my words, more people will die. I just feel it in my gut. I'm leaving. I tell him that it probably would be better to stay. If he acts like that, he could still the culprit. You think so? But what if Archeon is the culprit? What are you going to do in that situation? This could be the final choice we make. Would you be content if you were wrong? Before I can even think of responding, my phone rings. I feel as if my heart stops beating. Another text message? I hope they would stop. It feels like I've woken up from a nightmare. I raise a finger and ask him to hold on. He stops talking. Give me time to check. I go through a brief period of hoping it's Singe or Rook or Keela, but this hope is short-lived. Go to the lobby now. Things will begin shortly. I'm not sure what they could possibly mean. What was about to begin? I stop and think. Last time I got a text, they said a friend of mine would die. I instantly put my phone back in my pocket. I storm out of the room without saying a word, but honestly, I wouldn't know what to say. I assume this person wants me alone, and so I leave Shock by himself and go to the lobby, into certain danger for both myself and my friends. Save game time. Why do these two keep sticking around? Like, okay, Rocker is dead, and Shock just keeps, like... Well, I guess it makes sense because it's the last scene, so we're still with Shock, but what is Rocker trailing around for? In the press conference room! Rook cautiously enters the conference room. He scans the area slowly, realizing he's alone. Why do we even bother being punctual? As usual, I'm the one left waiting around. He sits down in the chair, taking a heavy sigh. Fiddling with his tablet, he tries to pass the time. Well, look who it is. Hello, Rook. He jumps into his chair, startled. You shouldn't pop up on people like that. Why'd you want to scare somebody? You know what kind of situation we're in. Pop up on people? It's not like that. You were just so engrossed in your tablet that you didn't notice me approaching. I can't be blamed for that. But do tell me, how is that tablet treating you today? Does he have anything interesting to say? What do you mean, he? Don't play stupid, Rook. I hate how everyone in here is full of lies. How do you think everyone here would feel if I told you what's on that tablet? Told them what's on that tablet? They'd think you're some sort of freak. I mean, you are, but you've done a good job of hiding it. I don't know what you're talking about. Of course you don't. In the blink of an eye, Max seizes the tablet. Catching Rook off guard, he starts to fiddle with it. Hey, give that back! He starts to panic, but his breathing becomes erratic. That's mine! He leaps off his chair and tries to take it back. Max has no issues dodging his attempts. She laughs mockingly as she browses its contents. You chat with him all day. And almost all night, too. You shut the world out just for him. Why don't you seek something more real? Words on a screen can only do you so much. It's affecting the way your friends see you, if that's something you'd even call them. As we all know, addictions can be costly. I've talked to people you work with. They mention your tablet more than you. Max, I'm asking nicely. Wow, you can find a lot in this guy. He seems so full of knowledge, too. Let me try asking him something. She spends a few moments typing. Wow, he responded instantly, and in such detail. Faster than any living being could. Rook huffs angrily, easily accepting her bait. Let me ask him about Eclair, or perhaps I can ask about Jade. He must know all your dirty little secrets. Max, I've had enough. He charges at her in a fit of rage. She instinctively clutches her necklace. And suddenly, everything stops. Pretty quick, the anger, isn't he? Oh well, I was going to restrain him anyways. Pretty fun to see him all rustled, though. If that's his trigger, he must have all sorts of nasty little secrets. She stares at the tablet for a moment. Curiosity. Though I guess it really isn't my business. I was just having a little fun. None of this will be permanent anyways. She places the tablet down on one of his chairs, then she pushes Rook down on the one beside it. As he is unaware, there are no signs of objection. The circumstances of Africa were definitely a little different, but I guess I have to make do with what we have and compromise. Arcan will know what I'm up to. With Rook in one chair, she grabs some rope. You better get comfy. She ties him up to the chair, ensuring it's extra tight. His wrists to the armrests, and his feet to the legs. I suppose I'll be generous. She moves the tablet from the chair to his pocket. You're lucky you're just a means to an end. I was tempted to dump this in the water, but that's something you'll need to do on your own, Rook. I can't do it for you. She lets out a slight laugh. The things that people do in grief. Doesn't anybody handle things like a normal living being anymore? I don't get it at all. Oh well, time for the finishing touch. She walks over to the other side of the room. Oh, the bomb she placed there earlier flashes a bright red. I hope this doesn't scare him too much. She spends a few moments disarming the weapon. After ensuring it's off, she returns to Rook. The red light on the explosive, now a docile green, places the bomb on his lap. She slowly rearms it. Its light turns red, flashing its new intent. And with that, the stage is set. She grips the gear-shaped necklace once more. Okay, so that's what those do. They let one freeze and resume time. Oh, you're finally conscious again. Rook looks around in confusion. He struggles slightly after realizing he's restrained. Hey, let me go! I can't do that. I have an important plan for you, Rook. She leans in close to give her words more emphasis. Let's get down to business. You've been wasting your life on that tablet, on your own little fantasy, and you're defensive enough to attack me? But it's odd, you passed out right after. Physical exertion must elude you, Rook. I had no choice but to restrain you. This bomb, however, is another story. She points to Rook's lap, and he notices the bomb. He immediately starts to squirm and struggle. Hey now, don't struggle too much. You wouldn't want to set it off in error. These words are enough to scare him into submission. He remains as stiff as a corpse, his eyes tearing up. Why are you doing this? I never did anything to you. Please, just let me go. Trust me, Rook. I'm not going to hurt you, and you'll be free to go shortly. If things go in your favor. I'm going to tell some of your friends that you're here waiting to be saved. They also know the disarming codes. It's pretty simple. They can come and save you if they want to. She takes a brief pause. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but there's a chance they might not come, because they may like somebody more than you. That's why your tablet is so important. You've spent so long immersed in that silly little thing, ignoring those around you. Perhaps now they will ignore you. I'm a firm believer that we set our own bombs in life. Our errors and lapses in judgment set mines for us to step on later. We are the victim of our own actions and words. We can conveniently choose to blame others, but at the end of the day, it's our fault. You chose to bond with that tablet instead of those who are currently around you, and now the choice may haunt you. Perhaps if you weren't so obsessed with that thing, they would be rushing to save you. But now, the fact that they need to choose, it makes this all the more interesting. You're sick. Blaming me, of course. If you weren't such an introvert, you'd be relaxing right now in confidence. But now you've come to realize, What you've been doing is harmful. But how harmful? Well, that's up to the strength of the bonds you've made. They decide your fate. Oh, and if you mention my name, I'll set off every single weapon here. So don't try and play hero rook. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go help contestant number 2. The show's about to begin. Well, shoot. Yeah, see, there he is. Why did my game glitch? Like, what? Rocker, why are you chilling out my save screen? Meanwhile, on the first floor of the convention center. I rush to the lobby and I'm sure what awaits me. However, when I get there, I just see Inway.
It's little Emily.
Hey there, Razzle. I wanted to go outside. Singe yelled at me. It was scary. Sounds like Singe. What's going on? I was told to come here immediately. Could Inway be part of this whole plan? I inched a little closer to him. Just in case I need to keep him safe. What are you doing? He looks a little confused, or maybe uncomfortable. I just want to keep you safe. Inway liked the answer. Wow, really? Thanks. My bro used to say that to me all the time. It's sad that he couldn't do it anymore. But I should learn to do it myself. I have to grow up someday, right? Other people can't always be there, not even bro. So I should learn. That way I can do it when I'm alone. I'll take pointers from what you do. He smiles at me. I'm glad he trusts me at least. But after he speaks, he stares at me in silence. Oh, is he expecting me to lead the conversation? I guess I could use this as a learning opportunity. Tell me about yourself. Inboy is happy you've taken an interest. Is this like an interview? I used to watch Bro do this all the time. He always wrote out his answers beforehand, so I don't know what to say. I'm older than I look, that's for sure. I love ramen, so I was glad we came here. I still have to do school and the tour, so my bro would help me with homework. I had a pet fish for a while. I wanted to have a little bro of my own. I took really good care of him. He died. Oh. Wow. Definitely jumping from topic to topic. But I guess we're all kind of like that at a young age. I still feel bad that I'm not good at math. Archeon had to answer that one problem. I'm sure nobody likes math. I let him know he's not alone in that regard. Really? That's interesting. I'm confused with how school works. If you're bad at math, they think you're not trying hard enough. They push you. Sometimes they even say you're not smart. But if you're bad at writing stories or an art, you get a slap on the wrist. Some people are born artists, they say. But if I'm bored, they'd be bad at math. Good point. I guess he has a point. Different subjects are treated in different ways. But anyways, I guess... Before he could continue, he's promptly interrupted. This conversation was optimal. Archeon descends the stairs into the lobby. He notices the both of us and quickly approaches. Hey, you two. Glad you're both safe. I was just about to do more rounds. Need to ensure everyone's survival. I notice he has his phone in his hand. Something I've rarely seen him holding. When he sees that I notice, he puts it into his pocket. So how you two doing? I'm doing okay. But I wish my bro was here with me. He just misses his bro. Surely you do. I apologize for bringing it up. I didn't mean to open any wounds. I don't have any wounds. It's okay. It was a metaphor in a way. I see. What's it? Again, he's interrupted. But this time by a high-pitched squeaking noise. Feedback from the lobby speaker system? Inway quickly covers his ears in fright. I look at Archeron. He seems unaffected. That is until the screeching subsides. The cliche lobby music that was playing doesn't return. Instead, a voice greets us and chills me to my core. Oh, something's about to happen. I mean, obviously, but like when... my true ending flags seem to be going up, so I guess I'm doing some things right.
Hello, Razzle. Hello, Archeon. Inway, too. Unexpected.
The voice is warped and heavily modified. I can't tell who it is, or their gender, but I know one thing without any doubt. This is the person who was texting me. This is the Midnight Killer. The murder of Clayson Rocker. Whatever they had, it was being put into motion. I clenched my fists and looked at Archeon. He looked scared. I've never seen him like this before. Inway inches closer to me as if to seek safety.
I am going to be blunt. Let's start this. Nobody else enter the lobby. If you do, every weapon will detonate. You all need to stay where you are. I only have business with these three.
So this is being broadcast to the entire building. I guess they aren't dealing with just me anymore. Show yourself. Don't hide like a coward.
Not yet, Archaeron. I need to keep a distance for now.
Oh no, my TV unplugged.
The stupid Fennec let his TV unplug. Now he has to wait for it to turn back on. Because he's an amateur.
I like how the audio is still playing and my headset's so. And we're back. There we go.
You three are to do exactly as I say. Any deviation from my course will result in the detonation of every weapon here. And if you don't believe me, just try me. I don't think it's worth it. A gamble shouldn't decide your fates today, nor the fate of everyone in the building.
I'm scared. Anyway, shivering in fright, I look at Archaon. He must know what to do. This situation can't be foreign to someone like him. You have our compliance. Please state your terms. We wish for no more death today.
It pains me to say this, but your wish will go unfulfilled. You only have the ability to mitigate. Damages will still be caused, so I advise that you listen carefully.
Very well. Archaon looks at me, showing signs of regret, like he's failed to stop this from happening. I give him a look of confidence. We can take this head on. We won't let them win.
I need to talk with Razzle. The situation pertains to him the most.
I stand tall and strong.
As soon as you arrived in Tokyo, you met two people, Rook and Keela. You spent the day getting to know them. That is until things went to hell.
I nod, unsure of where this may be going, but filled with fright at all of the possible scenarios.
I've been watching you ever since. On your little adventure through Akihabara, it made me sick. Too joyful and campy. You need to learn about consequence, something you haven't yet faced, and something you must come to understand, especially if you wish to save anything. You'll never do that without sacrifice. This is the first rule I will teach you.
I don't understand. Is this some kind of test? They seem to know my role in Terra.
And there's a second rule you must learn, but that will come soon, so don't worry. I'm going to present you with a choice. You must make the decision on your own. Arcana and Nimue cannot influence you. In fact, they must remain silent. If they speak, I'm sure you know the drill.
I look at Archaon and at Nimue. They both give me a nod. I go up audibly. I ask them to continue, to tell me what they want.
It is not about what I want. It's about what you want. So please, listen very carefully. Rook is currently in the conference room, and Keela is in a boardroom. They both have bombs strapped to them, ready to detonate at a moment's notice.
Well, shoot, son. Looks like the bomb has been planted. If the bomb's been planted. What? That can't be.
I said to listen carefully. I'll let you save one of them. The other will be left to die. They both expect you to save them. This is part of the second rule. You won't be able to save everybody. The road to salvation is paved with loss. And this is something you must understand. So who would it be? The tablet-addicted lackey? Or the overzealous superfan? I'm sure they both have redeeming qualities, as well as a few faults of their own. However, will those faults condemn them? The choice lies with you.
I look towards Archaon. He avoids my gaze, looking at the floor shamefully. I look towards Umle. He has his paws pressed up against his mouth.
Are you stressed? That's cute. How can you be trusted with the fate of a world when you can't even handle this?
I tremble in anger, my fists clenched violently.
And don't even think about saving both. If you split up, all the weapons go off. You need to travel as a group from now on. You will all go to the room with the person you wish to save. If anyone else tries to be a hero and save the other hostage, there'll be no heroes here. Only the three in the lobby may move, and it will be at Razzle's instruction.
I don't know what to do. I stand in silence for what seems like forever. Part of me hopes they're joking, but I know better.
Now I'm getting bored. Give me a name and now. Remember, it's one of them or all of you.
I take deep breaths. I close my eyes. They have us in a checkmate. What is up with these people in checkmate? Excuse me, I need to get some water. I have to choose, but how can I possibly be expected to choose who dies? I tremble in the face of this impossible decision, and I think very carefully before I say anything else, for they would be put the hardest words I'd ever speak. Wow, so I have to choose who lives and who dies. I don't know. I know, obviously this will affect the flow of the story, because one of them isn't going to be around anymore. But I mean, I don't know. Because if people die... Well, no, people in the Midnight Deaths, and anything associated with the Midnight Deaths, they say they've been winding up in Terra. Supposedly. So if Keela blows it, then we'll probably see him again anyways, but... Then again, he was brought with me. He didn't die like the others did. Then again, there's Rook, and... The thing is... Why would they spend so much time going over Rook's backstory? Not backstory, but the whole thing with him being tied up and not Keela. I mean, we saw both meetings set up. We only saw Rook's meeting. So, I'm probably really messing up here, but I'm gonna think a little metagame here. And I'm gonna let Keela bite the dust. Anybody who's watching this who likes squirrels, I apologize, but obviously he's more important to the story.
Good. I'm glad you were able to choose. Choices like this will find you often, especially with the role you play. Archeon and Numwe, you're free to talk, but know the rules. I won't hesitate to kill you all. Let's get things moving, shall we? Up to the conference room you go. We don't want to keep him waiting.
I quickly exchange glances with Archeon and Imwe. We need to hurry. Stay calm. Follow me. Wait, if we got a situation involving bombs being planted, I need to play some of my own music. Here we go. All right, here I got something. He starts bolting up the stairs. I look at Nimue. He has the face of utter terror. He shouldn't have to go through this. That's not fair. I place myself in front of him. I tell him that I'm going to keep him safe. After a brief pause, he nods. We both chase after Archeron with one goal in mind. Rook, don't worry. We're coming to save you. The first thing I see is Archeron kicking in the doors. Are they locked? How are we supposed to get in? They've been locked from the other side. I don't think I can break them in. He kicks at them several more times. They don't budge. Okay, that was from that's from CS:GO. You can get music kits that change the music that plays. And I probably don't even have this set at the same volume it was before because I'm a dork and I don't write things down. But you can get different music kits, and that one was the Talos Principle music kit. That was when the bomb gets planted. I just had to. Sorry. Alright.
Oh, silly me. I forgot to mention the bomb has a timer. You have 5 minutes to disarm Rook's bomb.
Wait here. I'm going to see Singe. He has to know how he can get through. He starts to run away, but Inway interjects. Archeon! Stop! Didn't you pay attention to the rules? We have to stick together as a group. But you ran upstairs by yourself, and no one else is allowed to intervene. But you want to go see Singe? You're going to get us all killed. Of course. I apologize. I'm used to thinking on my feet. I'm not used to working with restrictions. You have to forgive me, anyway. He quickly draws his pistol, having no other options. This must be the only way. Please cover your ears, both of you. We do as instructed. Imwe stares in awe. Archeon assumes a firing stance and aims at the door, but he doesn't fire right away. He readjusts his aim calmly and carefully, like he's trying to find that one perfect spot. He fires once, then kicks the door. Nothing happens. He fires again, kicks the door. Nothing happens. Come on. He fires for a third time and kicks the door. It opens slightly, and he beams with pride. My ears ring loudly, even though they are covered. Razzle, come here, quickly. I look back at Inouye before following his order. I collapse at us both, and we all enter the room. Limping from the pain, I fight it back for Rook. We see Rook almost immediately. He's strapped to a chair. I notice a flashing light on his lap. The bomb! We need a defusal kit. I rush quickly to inspect it. However, I lock gazes with him first. His eyes are red and wet. Was he crying? You came for me? Why? I honestly don't know how to respond. I look down to inspect the bomb. They're right about having 5 minutes. I let Archeon know the timer is counting down. Let me see. He comes and stands beside me. Inway waits near the door, leaving this in our hands. 4 minutes now. We can do this. Remain calm. He takes deep breaths as he examines the bomb. Wait. A 9-digit numerical keypad, as well as a button for the number 0. Too many combinations to just guess. This is impossible. We were set up. He tries to move the bomb, but it starts beeping. He winces in fright and quickly leaves it be.
Nobody said that you could remove it. Try that one more time and I'm going to blow this building sky high. Got it?
Archeon gulps and nods.
Besides, you do know the code. I'll give you a couple hints. It's a number the 3 of you know. Surely you've heard it somewhere before. And to top it off, it's 4 digits.
That could be anything. I don't appreciate these games.
It's not difficult, Archeon. You're good at solving problems. This one was no different.
How many attempts do we get before it detonates on its own?
Just 3. And you get no more hints. Other than that, you heard the number today. Good luck. I'll be in touch if you win.
They commence radio silence. 3 minutes left. What could it be? Think, Archeon, think. I try to think as well, but I draw blanks. I start to worry that this game is rigged too. Archeon, Imwe, and myself all know this number. It's 4 digits as well. What could it be? Or did it mean Archeon, Work, and myself? There's variations that determine the 3 of us. They should have been more specific. It's almost like they're doing this on purpose. I changed my steps back to when I first met Archeon. If we heard it today, it would have been heard as a group. We took the limo together, got escorted inside, went upstairs, wasted time until the conference. We were all together then. That makes the most sense. Could it have been something said during the briefing? I don't recall numbers mentioned at the time. I stop and think, replaying the conference in my head. 2 minutes. Archeon quickly leans forward and enters some numbers. But they're incorrect. He growls and punches the floor. Damn it! I was almost certain. Rook is panting heavily, his eyes watering again. He looks terrified. I feel sorry for him. He stares at me, his body still as a corpse. Perhaps he's terrified that he may set the bomb off. Try 2020. Clace's birth year. We should know it. Us all being here. That does make sense. We're all here as part of Clace's tour. I look at Archeon and he nods. I lean forward and look at the bomb. Hesitantly, I tap numbers 2020 on the keypad. It's not correct. Damn it! 1 more minute. I don't think we can do this. The timer decreases to the double digits. Is this how it ends? Because we forgot? Archeon starts breathing heavily in a state of panic. Even if we gave up, we cannot flee now. We wouldn't be able to make it out of here in time. 45 seconds. I replay my time in Tokyo over and over again like my life is flashing before my eyes, but I still can't remember any numbers. We must be getting played. I don't believe it. They were cruel enough to give us hope before death? We were probably never meant to disarm this bomb. It's this thought that breaks me. I start to cry. 30 seconds, and our fate becomes more lucid. Am I not meant to save Terra? Am I not meant to save even a single friend? No, it seems like they're denying me everything. 20 seconds. I close my eyelids tightly. Perhaps I'm too cowardly to stare death in the face, but my foremost thought is simple. Please don't hurt. I hear Archeon, Inway, and Rook speak, saying what I can only presume is their final words. However, I have nothing to say. I simply wait it out, with the realization that I'll never save a single soul.
Wait!
My eyes open and I look towards Umway. 8250! Enter it now! Without even a single thought, I rise to action. I look at the keypad and locate the numbers, and as fast as I can, I type 8250. The red light on the bomb becomes yellow. After a few moments, a peaceful green. What? Oh, wait. I got another... No. Because before... That's the MVP anthem for the Dallas Principle. That's Inway is the real MVP here. Our worst fears come true, sounding from below.
I forgot to mention one important thing.
The voice on the loudspeaker starts laughing loudly, the warping effect on their voice sounding near demonic.
The codes to disarm this bomb actually set off the other one as well. I connected them using a subroutine. You just killed Kayla, Razzle.
My heart sinks in my stomach as I hear these words.
Just part of your final lesson. To save someone, sometimes you need to kill. The path of salvation is stained with blood.
Oh, my fuzzy ass. Really? That's... Thanks. So, I had to kill somebody. I had to kill my own friend to save my own friend. Like... Really, Clace? You've been watching The Dark Knight recently. That's terrible. Like, it's one thing if, you know, oh, we couldn't save them both, but to drop that bomb on us... Jesus, I just killed my friend.
Whatever you're thinking now is irrelevant. They're already dead, by your hand. I didn't say it would be your fault. Don't you remember my little texts? I suggest you rush to them now to see if any bits and pieces are left. Or perhaps if they miraculously survived.
I look at Arcan, Imoy, and Wook. My heart is racing. This feeling of guilt is immense. Let's go. We have to try. Arcan quickly takes out a knife, slashes the ropes, freeing the captive Rook. We must not rush him into anything. He'll return to his senses on his own. I nod, and we dash out the room. We quickly head for the boardroom where Keela was, but Rook stays behind, letting these events settle in. It would be a long time before he was okay again. As soon as we get downstairs, we seek the boardroom. None of us have ever been there before, but the smoke and rubble marked its location. It was immediately apparent that Keela did not survive. Inmate busts into tears and starts crying loudly. Archeon clenches his fists in anger, and I can only think, I'm the one who did this. I wish I wasn't Case, but I can't deny it. I'm at a total loss for words. I don't know what to do. I mean, well, don't worry, narrator. Well, again, it's different. I want to say I shouldn't really worry, but it's like, you know, I did technically kill them. And she's doing this for psychological reasons. I think I know. It's Max. Obviously, it's Maxine that's doing this. There's no really hiding it. But maybe she's trying to psych me out. Hey, maybe I'm unknowingly in competition for the arc, and she's just trying to, you know, psych me out of the competition. Furthermore, how am I supposed to handle this? All I wanted to do was spend time with Clace, and I stole his life. He devoted all that time to this contest just to die. There has to be a way to bring him back. With this power that I have, with all these parallel realities, there just had to be a way to undo this. Keela, you have my word. Your death will not be in vain. It has sparked a flame of revolution within me. I will save Terra. I will bring you back. And those who oppose me will fall. Whoa, okay. It seems that the genitalia of our protagonists have finally descended. I walk towards Inouye, his eyes still streaming tears. He looks at me, trying to tell me something. I know. But he's crying too much to get it out. I place my hand on his shoulder. I tell him to take deep breaths and guide him. A few moments later, he's sufficiently calm. I know who did this to us. What? How can you come to know that? It was all in the numbers. The code you entered into the bomb, it was the answer to a math equation. The same one the woman gave to me earlier. Archeon helped me solve it in a limo. Do you remember when that happened? Oh. Oh, yeah. That makes... Yeah, oh, yeah, huh. Wow. The woman who gave me that equation, she's the one who's doing all this. That makes sense. But it's a woman? I didn't really expect that. But the numbers definitely didn't match, so there's really no other explanation. I didn't know who she was at first. When she arrived here earlier today, I saw her on the television, on the news. Her name, it's Maxine Armstrong. What? I knew there was something off about her. So, Maxine is the Midnight Killer. She killed Clace and Rocker? And was given powers by the man in the Ark? I don't know what to think. Can I trust no one? I try to piece this together in my mind. And the more I do, the more it makes sense. Whoops. She planted the weapons here as part of a plan. But then is Sinja where? And what about Archeron? She's definitely been following me since I got here. First at the train station, and then at the hotel. Plus, she has the codes to activate all the weapons. But there's still a burning question in my mind. Why was she given powers from the Ark? Was it all to teach me some sort of lesson? She kept telling me about these rules, things I'd never experienced in my efforts to save Terra. That couldn't be it. No one should have to die just to prove a point. There's something going on behind the scenes here, an explanation for all these murders. It just can't be for my sake. That would make me partially responsible. For the death of Clayson Rocker, too. No, there must be some other factors at play. I'm satisfied now that the culprit is revealed. I quickly turn around. Archeon has to know this. But before I start working towards him, a pain assaults me. Like an arrow to the chest, it stops me in my tracks. No! I need to tell Archeon, and Singe, too. The fate of everybody here depends on it. Immediately, I fall against a nearby wall for support. I crowd in agony, but my pleas for help are unheard. Archeon and Imwe seem frozen in place. I recognize the sensation, the arc. He lied to me. He gave powers to Maxine Armstrong, and she seems to know about my role in Terra as well. What else could he have been lying about? What has he been up to? It gets harder to think clearly. My breath is short. I slide down the wall, collapsing on the floor. Why did he give her powers? Why did he make her kill? What is my true role? Why did Keela have to die? I'm sick of being his pawn. I'm sick of lies. This time I'll fight for the truth. Okay, yes. Yes. Alright, I think... I might call it a day here, because we've gone... Hey, anybody else hear that? Sounds a little familiar. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm going to call it here right now, ladies and gentlemen, because even though there's nobody watching, but, you know, people might want to watch it later. This has almost gone on for 3 hours, so we're going to go ahead and conclude things right here for this stream, but this is crazy. Wow, oh my god, I didn't expect these plot twists. I didn't expect people to die, more people to die. I mean, you know, having Rocker just kick the bucket, whatever, but, I mean, no offense to anybody who likes him, but then, oh, that bomb scene. Wow. Oh my god. This game got dark really quick. And I want my answers, damn it. I want my answers, so... As, mean-spirited as I was towards this game in the beginning, I tip my hat to you, Clace, because you've got me definitely wanting to turn the page and figure out what the hell's going on here. So, we'll have to wait till next time, though, whenever that next stream is. Maybe Monday or Tuesday. I'll do another one of these. We'll see. It just depends on how my manager's schedule lines up. So, I am Razzle Joestar, and I will see you all on the next chapter. Take care, everybody, and thanks for watching.